All right, babies, we got Trump and Clinton, nobody cares. We got more truth being released via some national media outlets than anybody has seen in even my old dinosaur lifetime. Nobody cares. Does anybody really give two shits anymore? The Friday Night Super Show, babies, starts right now.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
The Friday Night Super Show.
Oh, hell yeah. We're going back.
You damn right. Tag team champs, bitches. The motherfucking Friday Night Super Show. Number one in the world, baby. Hey, enough of the goddamn horse shit. Let's start the show.
Oh, yeah, baby. So Racks and Stacks, the best on wax. The Friday Night Super Show is right here. I'm the mouth laughing and scratching at you, joined as always by my brother from another mother. I can't do it with no other. You can't even try to smother, even with the biggest feather pillow. There ain't no other. Dennis Ford, Mr. Friday Night. How in the fuck is you tonight, man?
Well, like I told you before the show, I'm a little stoned, but I'm doing all right. You know, can't really complain. A lot of shit going on, like normally throughout the week. So I'm sure we got a lot to cover. But yeah, happy to be here as always.
Well, you know, they always try to give us a plethora, a banquet of bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you know, the mainstream media is plentiful on that. I wish they give food out to homeless people the way they serve us up bullshit each and every day. But, nonetheless, they try to do that, and we are here to, you know, kind of bring that to a halt, kind of destroy all their crap, because it's crap rock. It's, you know, like Kansas from the 1970s. It's ridiculous. And I'm talking about the band, not the state. No, maybe the state too, but we'll get to that here later on. But no, they feed you, especially during election time, man, they feed you a big ass banquet of bullshit, and we're here to tear that shit the fuck down. And
well,
no holds barred.
I mean, how much more obvious does it have to be? I mean, do they have to get on stage and like eat dogs like puppies and stuff for people to be like, oh, I'm not voting. This shit is rigged.
Well, that's a big thing. That whole rig thing is something that really struck me earlier this week, because, you know, I'll check out the news in the morning for the weather and stuff, because I do work outside a lot. And, you know, I had a CBS it was this week. And CBS, in 5 minutes' time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even embellishing this one little bit. In 5 minutes' time, they sat and had 3 people tear down Donald Trump about how he has no proof that elections are rigged or fixed or anything that any of that. Our elections have the most integrity in the entire world. And wasn't literally 5 minutes later they're saying a Russian general may be responsible for hacking in and rigging this year's, not rigging, but tampering with this year's elections. I was like, what do you think rigging means? Rigging and tampering are the same fucking thing, you idiots. What planet are we on to where all of a sudden, no, that word that's meant this, you know, all these years? No, fuck that. That doesn't mean that anymore. That's not the synonyms. No. No, walk away from synonyms and language and the English language and everything that you fucking learned. For Christ's sakes, look at Common Core. We're not worried about math either. Come on. Jump on board. It's fun. And
yeah, while we're on the subject, though, of this bullshit election, the debate was on the other night. Normally I'm not
The mastur
going to
debate.
watch the debate, but, maybe it's funny. Maybe it'll be a little bit entertaining. Not at all, man. I feel like I got cancer from watching that debate. Just 10 minutes of it.
ladies and gentlemen,
brain cancer now.
you can send donations for the Dennis Ford Got Cancer from the Debates Fund to the Last Voice for Liberty Network here, Care Spreaker. It'd be fine. We'll process all that and buy him a gift card.
I went back and I caught back. I caught it in the morning. Sometimes on the political channels, they'll rerun it like early in the morning. So I caught it early, but I caught the ass end of it. And I know George Soros was mentioned, which is pretty interesting. But again, do people even know who he is or even give a shit? No, they don't.
And that kind of brings us back to our theme, doesn't it? The whole that shit happens and nobody gives a shit. We have as quote unquote conspiracy theorists, Dennis. We've been more vilified in the last 9 months than we have ever been in our entire lives, and nobody cares. You know why? Because they don't want to admit that we're fucking right. I don't want to admit that we're right either, kids. Neither does Dennis Ford. We want to be wrong. You're talking to the two people in the entire planet that want to be wrong more than anyone else ever.
Yeah, if we were wrong, we wouldn't be on the radio right now.
Oh, yeah, we would. We'd be playing, Payday Monsanto and Judas Priest songs. All that.
Yeah.
But
so, yeah, even before you finish, here's the interesting thing about that is that I posted about it the other day. I was like, 2016 is actually the year where the we got the full unfiltered truth, like everybody, not just conspiracy, whatever, not just, Joe Blow, 9 to 5 worker guy. Everybody in this country saw it right in front of their face, from the Pentagon to multiple things going on with this shit with the rigged election and everything, which we already knew it was rigged because they've all been rigged, so either way, like I said, this is the year, like you were just saying, it's a year where people are like, you know what, you were right about that. I hear that all the time. People are like, you know what, when you were talking about it, you were right. And I'm like, wow, maybe some people are getting it, but the vast majority, I'd say about 70% of the population don't care. They're like, we knew it was messed up. We don't care. See, that's the problem. The apathy. It should piss you off that they lose trillions and billions of dollars. So
it pisses me off, and I refuse to pay taxes. I've refused to pay taxes for a few years now, and it pisses me off. It's like them taking your money that you could be using for your family or anything else like that. Maybe you're getting your own personal gain, getting yourself out of the gutter, or what have you. They're using it, and then they're just going, well, you know what? We lost that shit. Can we have some more, please?
See, that right there should have been like a pivot point. That should have been a tipping point for people in America to be like, wait a minute, this happened before. Now it's more money. I'm mad about that. We need to do something.
There's another thing about the problem that people not giving a shit, Dennis, is that, when they lost $2.3 trillion in 2001, nobody gave a fuck then. But they might have, except for, they went and blew up 2 buildings. Now nobody just plain gives a fuck anymore.
Right. The first time, see, they had that, whatever, I guess, scheduled that way, if you will.
Oh yeah, I like to call it the scheduled assassination of 3,000 people.
The money, right? It's like I lost your money. I'm sorry. Next day, boom, we get 9/11. You didn't even have time to process what they told you yesterday. Imagine what we were all doing on 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Like people forgot about that right after that. Even if you did know about it, I didn't know about it until later on. But I'm sure the people that knew about it forgot all about it because the next day we got hit with that. So they didn't do that this time, though. This time they just gave us football and some other stupid distraction.
Yep.
The election is a distraction from the Pentagon losing that money. If you want to be
look at what Trump wants to grab a chick by the pussy. Trump, I could reach over and grab a chick by the pussy right now if I wanted to, but god damn it, what does that have to do with governing people or ruling people. And therein lies the problem. It's motherfuckers just keep this. I could have telegraphed from Donald Trump 20 fucking years ago. Okay, that he wants to be the ruler of the free world. Yeah, egomaniacal fucking self-centered bastard, of course. I mean, look, you can, anybody who's ever known anything about Donald Trump up before a year ago would have sat there and said, what? Yeah, I could see this motherfucker wanting to do that. Shit, even at the 2014 WWE Hall of Fame induction, Vince McMahon, this is in 2014, kids, before he announced his run, Vince McMahon introduced him as the next president of the United States. So, this has been a plan of Donald's for a while. The egomaniacal billionaire bastards who know him, they were all in on it. They knew this was going to happen. The thing about Donald Trump that I either almost like or absolutely loathe, I can't really decide which, is how the mainstream media, your NBCs, your CBS especially, CBS is great. They hate his fucking ass with a passion. It's so obvious. NBC, all of them, how much they make people like me sit there and go, fuck, I almost feel like I should defend this hairdo fucking selfish bastard. Because, everything you people are saying is circumstantial at best, and he's just kind of calling you guys dicks. I mean, fuck. If I were to run a campaign, I couldn't say that it would be much different than Donald Trump's, to be quite honest. Because I would be, it would be totally, way more R-rated, because I'm that asshole that doesn't care.
Well, don't worry, Lee Pierre. Don't get down in the dumps, because we're only going to have it for 4 years, whoever wins. And then we get cokeheads.
Oh, that's great.
Think about that. He's going to save everything.
Yeah.
Why can't we have him now?
Him and all 145 pounds of his skinny fucking tweaker ass. Sure,
that's
great.
A bunch of money from all these saps that keep supporting him and be like, oh, I'm sorry. And your money's going to vanish.
Dude, he's the skinny Alex Jones.
Well, who do you think he learned from? You see what I mean? There's a hierarchy even in the movement. There's a certain 4 or 5 people that think they control everything in the movement, and they don't. They actually need to get out of the way because they're hindering our performance by being, doing this for money and fame and whatever else they do it for. That's the opposite reason that you should be in this. They found a niche where they could profit from, and they're like parasites. I got a thing online the other day. It was like, Alex Jones invited you to like his page. I was like, I don't need a Donald Trump T-shirt or nothing today, Alex Jones. It's all he wants to do is sell me shit and tell me a bunch of shit I already know. So, no thank you.
Well, that's what they do. Is those of us who actually...
That's somebody that I think should retire and should have retired a long time ago, because obviously he's not in it for the reasons that me or Lee P are in this for. He's not concerned about any of the shit.
I think he should have retired fucking looking at what he did with Jack Blood. And Jack can be a dick. We all know this, but he's not a liar.
Well, here's the thing, right? I'm not going to knock people for letting Jones entertain them, and whatever he does. Probably good quality programming. I mean, I've seen some InfoWars and the shit that they run, whatever. But if you look at it recently, it's like a Trump jack-off fest over there. If the liberal media won't give him attention, he can get it from Alex Jones, because Alex Jones is over there riding the raw dog. He's just riding Trump.
Totally.
So, Dice is another one. Everybody
Chicken
knows
rice.
Dice. Dice is another one. He's just on the coattails of Donald Trump, trying to stir all his followers that like his pages, because he knows they're easily manipulated, because they're good at this.
Obviously.
This is what they train to do. He knows how to manipulate the people that follow him. He's able to, just like Jones, trigger people to be like, you know what, maybe I should vote for Trump. Or whatever they're pushing, whatever they're selling that week. They're able to that they're
even selling voting is offensive to me.
Go ahead
and finish your point, man. We do have a caller on the line as well, man.
All right, yeah, my point is like I said, I get into this a lot with people, they're like, oh, let people have what things they want, or even if it's rappers, this whole week I've been talking to people because this certain guy is trending on Facebook and everybody shits themselves. They're like, oh my God, he came out the cave. Ooh, what you got for us?
Oh, please, Herman, give us something. They're standing there down there at the base of the mountain like it's Moses coming down with some commandments and shit.
I'll give him credit, though. I will give him credit. You know, Eminem, he does have talent, but the thing is, the thing I will give him extra credit on is that he's able to captivate people just like other people. When you hear, you know, back in the day, if I heard that, I'd be like, oh, I got to hear that. You know, that's what everybody was thinking when they saw that. It was like, oh, I got to hear this song. And then it's like 7 minutes of just fucking, it's just crazy, man. And then
let me tell you how I stuck my wife in the trunk and drove my baby off a cliff and all this other garbage. It's like, really?
Let me remind people, this is the same guy that has a song talking about murdering, you know, his wife and his daughter helping him, you know, and crazy shit. And people are like, yeah, he's the best lyricist of all time, blah, blah, blah. You sound like a
no, he isn't.
That's what
yeah.
You sound like. Support shit like that. You sound like a straight asshole.
Straight up.
You know, so that, and it's not just him. It's the entire mainstream hip-hop industry, pop music. Madonna doing what she's doing. You better get in line, Lee.
Yeah.
Madonna's giving out blood.
Madonna's going to be sucking my dick. I'm going to vote for Hillary. Because Madonna said she sucked my dick and looked me in the eye while she did it. And she swallows.
That's the insanity.
She swallows,
that's the insanity
too,
level.
she said.
You know?
Hey, these are direct quotes from the stupid fucking Skeletor-looking cunt herself. I'm not joking, kids. Yeah, it's we try to avoid sometimes getting that crude on here, that sexual vibe, but every now and then you just got to take what's been given to you. And guess what? Skeletor, in her female form, it might be evil in you never know.
Or E.T., as I like to call it.
E.T., the Eddie Torres, the extra testicle. I fucking knew it. I fucking called Wang years ago. But anyway, yeah, she did actually come out and doing a stand-up comedy bit, which they keep trying to portray, in opening for an Amy Schumer show. So, you know, you take that as you like it. I don't.
Oh, my God.
But, you know, and she...
In the first place.
Huh?
So go ahead.
Who told
Amy Schumer that she was funny? Comedy Central? Wow.
I don't know.
All the shit they produced in the last 10 years.
I'm pretty sure it was 3 deaf niggas that nobody ever met. They keep in a closet.
Network that gave you Key and Peele.
They keep in a closet and just play vibrations all day long, talking about, oh, you're out in public. And these deaf people are like, oh, yeah, but I am. Amy Schumer's funny, sure.
Let's give her a shot. She could be the next Chappelle. You never know.
Oh, my Christ. You know, somewhere, somehow, Dave Chappelle is going to hear that and come and find you. Give you that. You know, he's going to give you that old Rick James slap. Just.
I don't think he's going to get off the farm anytime soon. I know he likes to live on a farm or whatever, but.
Hey, I don't blame him.
My point is, even before you finish the whole thing, my point is that these celebrities don't really give a shit about you. It's a similar situation to Washington, D.C. The politicians, entertainers, the people that people look up to and idolize and think that these are heroes and these are brilliant people and talented, amazing people because they went to college or they got certain degrees or they sold so many records or they won Grammys and shit. None of that shit means anything when you're dealing with somebody that is willing to put money in front of people. And until that shit changes, those people don't give a shit about you. They'll say anything they will. They'll do anything for a check. Let's just put it that way. And most people in society will as well. So you know,
those are what we call, what we used to call back in the old school days, whores. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what they are.
Yeah, they are. And we've got Renegade Smith joining us live. Renegade, are you there, buddy?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Oh, you know us, ranting and raving and carrying on like fucking absolute lunatics, they call us. But, hey, we're not wrong.
What Dennis just said about Amy Schumer freaking had me dying over here. Whoever told her that she was funny. She ain't funny. She's never has been and never will be. The funny thing is people actually think she's funny. Hey, come on.
I don't know. I don't see the connection. But
well, she is funny, boys. But, you know, looks ain't everything. You know,
hey, that's you know, that's the opinion of whoever decides to entertain themselves with her shitty show. But while we got Renegade here, I just want to tell Renegade thanks for calling in and everything. And, you know, there are some behind-the-scenes shit going on, but it's nothing serious. It's just me, you know, doing what I do. I'm just mixing up shit. It's nothing It's nothing directed at anybody or anything. And plus all the other things I've been dealing with. I'm just now getting to the point where, I'm coming out of all that. So it's been a rough 5 months. And that's all I want to tell you, Renegade. And it's hard to type a lot of shit and get into a lot of discussions through a chat or whatever on Facebook. To pick up the phone, like, oh, just give me a call. It's just things are hectic.
Ladies and
sometimes
gentlemen,
where I don't even know if I can get into the show.
Ladies and gentlemen,
make the show, but,
ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that you might have just witnessed Dennis Ford make an apology. I could be wrong.
I mean, it is an apology.
We're calling in the professionals to do analytics. We'll get back to you within 2 to 3 weeks, kids. Okay. We got to wait for the results, but no. Dennis was being the bad guy, which sometimes will be the catalyst that makes most of us get up and do something. And for all intents and purposes, man, you know me. I'll say it publicly. I always had your back the whole time. I knew what was going on.
I'm just saying, I got to a point where it was just,
it was getting savage. It was not only getting savage, buddy, but it was getting pretty vicious too. So
No, that's what I'm saying. It was getting to the point where it's not good to lash out against people that really didn't do anything. Just because you're upset about something else, which none of us should ever do. But when you add alcohol and other things to that amplifies it. And like I said, these last months have been crazy, man. I don't even know where to start. I'm just glad that certain people will be like, all right, well, that's the end of it. We're just gonna not be friends anymore. But Renegade's not that kind of guy, and I'm not that kind of person myself. So I'm kind of mending up things. Me and Lisa have been talking or whatever, but it's just it was self-destruct mode for the last few months. It was just I was done with everything. But I'm just now getting back to the point where things are starting to clear up for me, and I'm able to function somewhat the way I want to, mentally and physically. So I'm working on things. I just wanted to let you know that, Renegade. So Lee knows. I've talked to Lee about this over the weeks.
Yeah, I was talking to Lee the other night, and I remember he actually brought it up, a year or so ago. He was in self-destruct mode. And, I guess
that's exactly it. Nobody could tell Lee anything. Remember that, Renegade? Remember Lee was just like me, just flying off the handle and shit. And nobody, there was no words or nothing I could do to be like, Lee, hey, he wouldn't even,
that didn't happen.
You know what I'm saying? It's a different place that you go to.
I can't lie, kids.
Losing a parent will do that to you.
That did happen.
I know, brother. And Danny, I'm telling you, man, it's all good, man. It's we're under the bridge. It's behind us. I sent you that message, man. I apologize to you guys. Like I said, I don't
I was going to get back to you, but I had a feeling you might call in. I had a feeling you might have called in tonight. So, same thing. I got a lot of respect for you, Renegade. Regardless of what I said or what I typed on Facebook, I never said that to your face or anything like that. So, I do got a lot of love and respect for you and all the people that we worked with over the years. We all have our moments. All right, I'll just put it that way. I'm not the first one to do that. Maybe not to the level I took it, but you know what I mean. It happens, man. These things happen. Right. You have to forget
I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see that you're coming out of it, man, and you're fighting your way through it. And that's why we do what we do. I know, and for people out there, none of us get paid. We don't get paid for what we do. We do it because we care. And we're fighters. We are fighters, and we will fight till the end. Right. And Dennis, you are fighting, man. You are fighting through it. And well, I'm telling you again, man, I'm here for you. You got my number. Anytime you want to give me a call, man. I told you this before.
Yeah, I know.
Countless number of times. You want to vent?
I know.
Give me a ring.
I know. Like I said, you know me and phones. It's hard to even get me on the show.
I know.
But I'm like I said, it's certain points in your life where what I'm saying, you can't even. There were certain days where I knew I was awake and I was in reality. But in my mind, I'm somewhere else. I'm like, I'm right. I'm on another planet somewhere. So it's difficult. And I'm just now, like I said, I'm getting to the point, I don't know, last month and this month, I've been, everything is kind of like, if you will, it's kind of turning down. Like the volume's getting turned down to where I can focus again. So that's good. The only thing I can tell you is, like I said earlier, thank you for being who you are, Renegade, and Austin and Lisa and everybody else. All the other people that I lashed out against, they Some of them left, some of them didn't, but, you know, it is what it is. So, I do apologize to anybody out there that I offended or...
Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, you can submit your butthurt forms to the Friday Night Super Show Facebook page. That's facebook.com/FNSSOG.
Well, also, I mean, you never really pay any attention to, like, what you're saying because you're like, yeah, people don't give a shit. Just like we were saying on top of the show, it's like nobody cares. You know, who gives a shit what I have to say about anything? But people do, you know, ironically, people do care. So,
well, they do, and so that's you know, the point where we have to step back and go, God damn it, I don't get to be that fucking hateful prick that I really want to be, because that's what this shit that we keep wading through and knee deep fucking hip waders that fucking we can't even begin to. But it just keeps clouding up on us, man. And if you start to add in factors of life, ladies and gentlemen, you know, life always goes on, no matter how much we hate the elite and all the crap that they do. Our life still keeps continuing on. I mean, shit still comes up no matter what. And once you start to factor these two things in together, man, sometimes you wake up in the morning and you go, why in the fuck did I wake up? You stare up at the clouds and you go, you fucking rotten son of a bitch. Why in the fuck did I even have to suck another goddamn breath after I fell asleep last night? For fuck's sakes, this is the shit that I gotta wake up to. You know I got kids and grandkids in this world, don't you, you fucking mean old bastard? For fuck's sakes, man. And then that's usually how long the conversation goes, at least for me. And I sit there and stew in it for another hour and a half, smoke way more pot, and then go to work.
This is interesting that you bring this up, you know. Being mad at whatever you believe in, you know, is one thing. But being mad at the world, yeah, I was there. Like, I wanted the world to explode, you know, a few months ago. So that's part of it, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really put people's feelings or anything into how I was feeling because I was, you know, devastated. And nobody could relate. Even Lee Peer that went through a similar situation, there's no words.
No, there ain't.
There's nothing that my sister could tell me or I could tell her that helped.
Well,
so that's very devastating to a person.
You can't. You know, even my brothers and sisters couldn't tell me nothing, and thankfully they know me. They knew me well enough that you know, they didn't even try. You know, they're just kind of like, Lee, go drink. You know, and
Renegade and let's be real. I mean, Renegade and TV. I'm like, what? I get pissed off again. Man, I was having a good day. I turned this freaking television on. Shut this shit down.
I'm just saying, Renegade has a faith, you know, and I have faith too. And the religion aspect is one thing, but it did test that as well. Like, you ask questions, and you're not supposed to do that, especially when it comes to the way life
always ask questions.
Everything happens for a reason, right? Well, I didn't understand the reason, so it did test me a lot of different places. It tested me on who I was and where I come from, what family really means, what I believe in, you know, what I think is going on in the world, and all this other shit on top of it. Like we were saying, all the other shit that we deal with on a daily basis. You know, but my life, yeah, I had some problems.
The truest path to God, man, is always asking questions. That's what He wants you to do, is to ask, man. I'm just saying.
We're not going to get into the whole religion thing here tonight, but you
know that show's got to come up. That show's going to happen here relatively soon. We got to do the fucking religion show again. It's been a couple years.
Well, can I chime in on Chump and Hillary?
Yes, you can. Renegade Smith, ladies and gentlemen, joining us here on the Friday Night Super Show.
Because I'm not looking forward to the religion show. But yeah, go ahead.
But let's go back.
It's got to be
5 years. I mean, we've been talking about possible candidates in their next selected puppet. Now, I don't remember any of us mentioning Chump, but we did mention Hillary. And I'll tell you this honestly, guys. I don't know how to take Chump. I really don't. I mean, yeah, can it be part of the puppet act? But I mean, he said some pretty straight up things, like, and you just see Hillary or Hillary, whatever you want to call her, just like peek up, like, oh, okay then. I mean,
Yeah, like I said,
yeah, because he's using a lot of what we put out there as far as the truth movement goes as ammunition, because
we got that from Alex.
he knows that it's real. I mean, it is documented, real fucking facts that we put out there, ladies and gentlemen. We don't get on the radio and pay money to just sit out here and fucking be assholes, you know, and lie to you about this bullshit. We want somebody to come and end our shows completely, please. Just end us all, so me and Dennis can go on to playing, you know, Judas Priest and Barry Manilow. You know, MC Hammer actually sells wall hangings, Velcro wall hangings. That fucking communist son of a bitch. I knew it.
I thought he was selling parachutes.
No. That's just the pants he is wearing.
No, but you're onto something. You're onto something, Renegade, because, like I said, if you go back and you watch that debate, if you just catch a soundbite of, you know, when he brings up George Soros, she gets this look on her face like, oh shit, I didn't want people to hear that. Where's the sniper at?
Yeah, because in all reality, aside from Sean Hannity and Fox News, ladies and gentlemen, and I hate saying that son of a bitch's name because he's a fucking pompous fucking prick, but yeah, aside from Sean Hannity, Donald Trump was the only other person to have mentioned George Soros' name in any type of mainstream broadcasted media. You know, besides us. I mean, we've said George Soros' name a lot of times. A lot of fucking times over the years, boys. You know, we've talked about this fucking stupid piece of shit for a very, very long time. But for that to be brought out, in a nationally televised debate where, you know, you still got so many people fucking paying attention to the Dog and Pony Show, it's kind of hard as an anarchist to condemn Trump too awfully much. I mean, albeit this fucking rotten hairdo fucking piece of shit motherfucker wants to rule us, he also wants to be a fucking fascist, a statist. That's what he is, okay? You know, a police state motherfucker.
Yes, reading between the lines, and that's what you can hear from him. Absolutely.
And that's the same thing that you're going to get from Hillary. It's just she's going to be fucking nice about it. You know, that motherfucker, Trump, will at least be the motherfucker that come out and fucking say, yeah, guess what? This is what we're going to do. Fuck off.
We already did.
You know?
We already did.
Yeah.
We already did state that. But dude, let's check this out. We got to bring this up. All right, Julian Assange is the guy behind WikiLeaks, correct? Now
is he dead or not, boys? I've been trying to track this all week. What the fuck?
Because this is important. People need to hear this.
Now, Julian Assange is the guy behind WikiLeaks, and he's supposedly been on the run for so long, okay? There was something flagged today, and I don't know why. It was flagged by Facebook, and I looked at it on one of these pages. And here, this was kind of funny to me. But now all of a sudden, that they're tearing at Hillary, all of a sudden he's arrested, right? And I'm watching this thing, and Dick Morris, of all people, is kind of putting it out there. Now, there's a hacker named Gossifer or something like that, or Guccifer.
Yeah, I know that guy.
He hacked Hillary, got all the emails, and supposedly Russia hacked him. Now, from what they're saying is, Hillary, of course, the Clintons are on the warpath, and they are trying to silence us because they think it's all been given to Trump, Mr. Trump.
Well, you know, my thing about this is, man, okay, so the Russians hacked it. I don't care who the fuck hacked it. It could be fucking, you know, little Eddie Torres, the extra testicle, or fucking Steven Spankalot, you know, down in his mother's basement. I really don't give a fuck. The fact of the matter lies in what the emails say. They hacked us. They just put the shit that you've been not telling the rest of us out there for public view. You know,
emails were from George Soros, you know, in Bilderberg.
George Soros and what's that penis guy's name? Petro or penile dysfunction? I can't remember his name.
But this is a valid point that Renegade's bringing up, because people are like WikiLeaks, and people are actually, you know, entertaining the idea that maybe this is going on. But think about this.
There are some places, Dennis, there are some places that are saying that it's now illegal to even read WikiLeaks. And
I saw that.
Wait a minute. No,
Yeah,
what the
they
fuck
said the
up,
same thing about
motherfucker?
her emails.
No, I can sit and watch some bitch shove a cucumber up her fucking own twat, okay, on any website that I so choose, as long as I put an X in front of it. But I can't read what my government's doing, what the people who are running for office in my government is doing. Wait a minute.
They're involved in criminal activity, and they don't want it to be known. That's just the thing. That's, I say it a lot. We have a paranoid government because they have a lot to hide.
Well, isn't this what Orwell talked about? Isn't this what William Cooper talked about? Hasn't this warning been out there for at least, 2 decades now? And they called them all crazy. They called us crazy. But guess what, motherfuckers? It's coming true. Okay? Disneyland is shitting its own fucking pantsuit, and we're the ones that got to clean the goddamn diaper.
Well, here's the thing, right? This is interesting for all of us to think about. Is whatever you do in your life, even if all this information was, public knowledge, and we could all access it, and we knew everything in it, do you think it would change anything? Because I don't. I think she's still going to win. Trump's going to fade off in the distance. And then, like I said, in 2020, she's going up against Cokeheads or some other, Kanye West. Who else they got? Let's roll them all out.
I don't know. This is the worst part about it, boy. The worst part about it is that this bitch is probably going to fucking win. And not only and that will prove something to you if anything proves anything to you kids, man. It's that in the last 12 years, we have elected our first black man and our first woman. And all of them are a goddamn complete fucking disaster, all right? Just complete fucking stupidity. It's like when you come home too drunk at night and you walk into your fucking door frame. You got a big old black and bruise, right up the side of your face. But, hey, guess what? It was just me being dumb, all right? I got to own up to it. I got to own that shit. And for us to really advance as a country, we need to realize that we've been stuck on stupid for a good 15, 20 years now. I mean, most historians who are worth their merit will place us at least 150 years. But
this is nothing new,
guys. How about this? How about when the second debate, when Trump literally looked at Hillary and said, look what you did to Bernie Sanders. Oh, you're super delegates. And I remember poking fun at that. You got delegates and they got the super delegates. Also, they got the super duper delegates. It's like, how much more corruption can you show to the American people that these people constantly pull on each other to weed out the good guys, to keep in the scum?
And Bernie Sanders is not a good guy. He's a fucking Jewish socialist, which makes no fucking sense.
But he's better than freaking Hillary.
No, he's not. There's no difference in these people. A Jewish socialist. Let's see. I want to be a Jewish person and represent my Jewish faith, but, I want to also be a socialist, which, of course, the Nazis were. When they supposedly killed 6 million of us. It's like, well, which side are you on, dude? Either you're on one side or the other, or you're full of shit, and the Holocaust never fucking happened. Which one is it?
They're going to pull quick ones on us. Oh, we got these super duper delegates just voted you out. Hillary's up to the table. Sorry, you didn't get the votes from the super duper.
Oh, Hillary, a high-ranking member in the Jewish mafia, they say.
Well, either way.
Then let's wait a minute. Let's separate that for the listeners. All right. There's what you call a natural Jewish person, somebody who is actually Jewish, all right, and follows that ridiculous faith. And I know all of them are ridiculous, kids. They really are, but they follow that are a good person. And then you have the Ashkenazian Jews. The Israelites, if you want to call them that. They're not so much. They're the ones that actually believe that they're superior people. Okay? Anytime you have a group of people that places themselves in higher value over another, you know you have an issue. Am I wrong, boys?
Right.
I mean,
No, you're not. That's the world we live in.
I know I may not be wrong. I might just be an asshole, but for fuck's sakes, man.
Go on and shut your mouth, or we'll cut your show off.
Let me ask you guys a question. Trump's not a dumb guy. Okay, we know that they select them, we don't elect them. We know this, and they keep playing the game. Well, I mean, the ISIS rhetoric goes around. I mean, I guess they're playing their parts, but what if, and I've thought about this, what if Trump is mentioning certain things, knowing that he's not going to be selected, but to kind of wake the American people up? Saying key things that kind of, I mean, there's a lot he has said. Let's be real here.
Yeah, he has people behind him, Renegade. He has Alex Jones and these other people that he's in contact with. He's trying to rile up people like that.
No.
People that are, don't tread on me.
No, Dennis, I do kind of get where he's coming from, because, there have been certain rallying points behind certain issues that people in the truth movement, without, naming names and all that, have gotten behind, been a part of, and, we all kind of chimed in on our own little way, whether it be the Bundy Ranch or all that other stuff.
I think it's all corrupt, and I think it's all bullshit, and it's a waste of time. I don't see any good parts in it.
Well, that's
not telling me anything I don't know. It's the American people's fault in the information age for being in the position they are right now. You should already know this shit. You should need Donald Trump on television to tell you.
Yep.
A damn thing.
That's the position we've been taking for a very long time, kids. Just so you know.
That's just my view. That's just my view.
I would have brought up, if I was in that debate, I would have brought up
you got the right view.
The 47 people now that have been killed that were very close to the Clintons. What's up with all that?
No, Renegade, that number has launched into the 60s. No. It might even be to the 70s, because I haven't been paying attention to shit for like a week.
No, they're not going to bring that up.
Well, I would have.
You know where that $6.5 trillion went? You know where all that trillions of dollars went? It went to hiding all this bullshit that when the FBI was investigating her, they wasn't investigating her. They were figuring out how to cover her tracks so nobody would look at the shit. That's where most of that money went, to pave the way for her stupid ass to be president. It's not rocket science. The shit is right in front of your face. They did pull a false flag again. It's Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
It's a false flag.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard it first right here on the Friday Night Super Show. Mr. Friday Night nailed it like a motherfucking carpenter, man. It's a false flag. She is the biggest false flag they've ever pulled. They're sitting out there fucking just waving a motherfucking flag going, ha 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 ha, you niggas is stupid. And we fucking bought it. We slopped it up like hogs at the trough, didn't we?
Yeah, and they shit on Trump all day. If you watch CNN, and if you can even entertain 2 minutes of it, I know it's hard, but they're just shitting all over him and praising her like she's the gospel. She's going to save everything. She's not going to do shit. This has already happened. How's that hope and change working out for you, Americans? Where are all these black voters that went out and voted for Obama? I bet you they're not voting this year.
No, a good majority of them probably aren't, but some of the ones that are probably voting for Trump. Number one, he's on TV, so it makes him easily recognizable. Number two, he's not. He's the cunt bag Hillary Clinton, which
Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? That's all he's got to do is get Puff Daddy hanging out with him, and that's the black vote. There you go. That's all you got to do is throw up a corny-ass coon rap star in front of people, and they'll be like, oh, I'll vote for him because he's cool. He chills with Diddy, or Snoop Dogg. That's all you need.
Check this out, man. For real, though. Check this out. So where I'm at, all the way down close to the city limits of Philadelphia. Now, back in the election, I saw all sorts of campaign signs in the front yard. But with this one, I ain't seeing nothing for Hillary. I'm seeing a whole bunch for freaking Trump. Nothing. I'm telling you, I see nothing around here for Hillary. I saw one. It was these huge banners that this guy evidently bought somehow. It said Hillary for president 2016, and next to it was Trump. And I'm like looking around. I'm like, I see nothing for Hillary from here all the way down to Philly.
I never met a Hillary voter. Not even on Facebook.
I think they're fake. I think they're as fake as she is.
It's a psyop. It's a false flag.
It's as fake as the whole college. It's as fake as
It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion by the shadow government to make everybody think about something that doesn't really fucking mean anything. It doesn't matter who's president because either one of them, things could change up a little bit. But right now, the liberal media has their cake and they're eating it too because they already got the black one, the half black one, and now they're going to get their woman, and she's going to change everything. We need a woman as president, don't we? Because that's how bad America is. We done fucked shit up so bad. Let's just let a woman try to fix it. Because we're pretty sure she can fix it. And if she can't fix it, maybe Donald Trump can fix it with all his billions of dollars. If he really gave a shit, he would go into Chicago and figure out what's going on in Chicago. He keeps bringing up Chicago in debates, too. That pisses me off. Donald Trump has no clue what's going on in Chicago because if he walked down the street, he would get mugged and beat the fuck up. And they would take everything from him. His shoes, his clothes, everything.
Then he made a good point, though. He's talking about Hillary, wanting to destroy the Second Amendment. Well, gun laws in Chicago are, the hardest in the country, but yet they have the most killings. And he did have a good point.
Renegade, don't you have to stop people from getting guns first before you can start to say, well, let's take it away from them? That should be plan A. Stop the guns from flooding the streets. Not to mention, they flood the streets with the crack in the 80s, but we're not going to talk about that. That's another show.
This is something purposely do, listeners. This is
purposely being. Yeah, this is a plan. This is a liberal plan in Chicago and all throughout the major cities in America because it's easy to manipulate. Not all people, but even white people that live in the ghettos or may not have a lot of money or whatever. It's easy to manipulate people, Hispanic, black. It doesn't matter what color you are. It's easy to manipulate people when they're struggling and shit. And they know this, and this is why they flood drugs and guns and rap music culture that is fucking garbage. There is nothing in the mainstream that is for the last 17 years. There has been nothing in the mainstream that is worth your time even listening to because when you listen to it, it's programming you to basically sign your ass up for the prison industrial complex because that's how stupid you are.
Mm-hmm. That's how dumb they think you are.
Hold on, you just mentioned something there. Hillary did bring up this. She wants to end the privatization of prisons. That's one thing.
That should already happen.
No, she doesn't. She wants to privatize it to government.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. They're just going to transition the power, the money source. Who's profiting from it? They want to take it out of the hands of the companies that are coming in and making them private prisons. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of money in locking people up. And that's sad. But if they want to transition the money, like we were saying, it's just going to go to the government. The government's going to be like, wait a minute, we threw this out because we didn't think it worked.
Well, they're the ones that fucking created the laws that puts the people in the jail. They're the ones that created the victimless crime laws that continuously puts people in jail. All right, 90%. You're hitting it right there on the head with that 90%, motherfucker. 90% of people who are in the prison or jail system have never hurt anybody.
Right, and there's another 90% as well, because when you look at the 90%, they guarantee 90% occupancy when they go in, and they wouldn't go in and invest money if they didn't think they can get at least 90%. And they double that, because if you look at any prison and jail in the United States, overcrowded, way overcrowded, like maybe 3,000 people can fit in jail. They got 7,000.
And if they're not overcrowded, kids, make sure you got your gangster tags up tight. Make sure you got all your lights working, because they're coming to look for you. They want to put you in there.
They're like, these bunk beds over here, this is Mexican mafia, so don't walk over there. And this is the blacks over here, the Crips and the Bloods, and then you got your white Nazis back there by the toilets, Don't walk over there. And it's all overcrowded. They're like in bunk beds, all hanging out in the gym and shit. Like,
who's going to look at the world? Take a look at the world prison populace, okay? I think America makes up for 26% of it. Oh, but we're in the land of the free, right?
26%? Boy, you're a nice motherfucker tonight, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, that was a nice percentage, but
that was the last time I saw that. That's the last percentage I saw.
No, dude, you want to look at over 80%. Okay, that's above 80. I think the number I saw was 84 from
world population.
World population, yeah, we have 84%.
Okay. Hey, okay, then.
No, I just thought of this.
You know, America, number one,
I
because
just
Chris
thought of this.
Santorum. Jesus,
I just
Bible
thought of
flag.
this. I have to get this out, Lee. Just give me a minute here. I just thought of this. When it comes to Chicago, right, what you are seeing is the heroin influx of Afghanistan, what we're over in Afghanistan for. That's one of them. Also, what you're seeing
That was
is
a
the
good part
prison
of it.
industrial complex in overdrive. People may get away with murder here and there, but Chicago is running rampant with drugs, guns, crime, violence, destruction that is being funded and paid for by the United States government because they win on both sides.
You're right.
If you go to prison, they win. They still win if they have to investigate the murders and shit. So
It's
a
the
win-win for
last
them. Plus, they
scream
ship
of the
drugs
missing
in.
neighbors. I mean, Jello Biafra
Remember Fast and the
laid it
Furious?
out in
Not the
1987, man, dude.
Yes.
It'd be a little
Not the movie with
obvious.
Vin Diesel.
It'd be a little
like
obvious
Fast and
if
the
they
Furious.
fenced off all the slums and handed out the machine guns to the poor in the projects and watched them kill each other off. You know, it'd
Right.
be a little bit obvious that
They
way.
had Isn't Chicago when they had that FEMA camp-style prison with no one knew
Yeah,
about?
that secret where you just disappear.
Oh, the
right?
black
See, that's
site.
what you're seeing. You're seeing all this shit running rampant. You're seeing this shit. It's the liberal experiment blowing up in their face. That's why they're not talking about it.
And just so
'Cause they
you
don't
know,
want everybody
kids,
to know they're messing
those
up.
black sites exist in
But-
every
But
major
Renegade's
city
right.
in the country.
There was a FEMA camp in Chicago where you would have trial and you'd be in jail. Next thing you know, you're missing, and nobody knows where you went. You went to this
It's a
camp.
black site.
And who knows what goes on in there. Right.
Right.
It's like a beat-up building.
Then I wanted to ask you, why you so focused on Chicago? I remember a while back you were posting like stats on it and stuff like that.
Because he's the
Well,
only
I can do
motherfucker that does. There's nobody
Because-
else in talk radio that fucking mentions Chicago besides Mr. Friday Night.
Yeah, nobody really reports on it. That's one thing, but it reminds me of Fukushima. It's like the thing that nobody wants to talk about. But when it comes to Chicago, I don't live in Chicago. I've never been to Chicago, but I can feel the pain and destruction that's going on in that city, so it motivates me to let people know about it. And there's probably people in Chicago. We had a radio show one night where a guy called in from Chicago. We weren't even talking about Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Lee remembers this. He called in and he was telling us, he was like, we're dying out here every day. It's like, it's madness. It's like my friends, family, cousins, uncles, we're just getting shot up and the shit don't make no sense. And that's pretty much all he said. He hung up.
That's the way they want it, though. That's the way they want it.
But that's what you're seeing. And part of it as well is back in, the early 90s, 1994, Michael Jordan, was winning championships in Chicago, and everybody loved Chicago. It was the Golden City. Chicago Bulls, right? Look at it now. Look at it now. People are like, what's Chicago? I don't even remember Chicago. But they buy Jordans. They still buy Jordans, but they forgot about Chicago.
That's a brand, man. That is a total brand. I've been through Chicago twice. I've never hung out on the streets and been, in these
I have.
parts.
I did mushrooms in Chicago years ago.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Renegade, something pulled me and told me that I need to,
I did.
most people don't give a shit, but for me,
Did
it's
a lot of
something that I'm
acid
passionate
and
about. Just
field
like when it
band
comes to
when I
music,
saw the
this
Dead in 94.
music that
That
I've
was
promoted
fucking
over the
awesome.
years that I'm very passionate about. And something told me to step in and, fill that niche because nobody was doing it. You got to change the game, man. You got to change.
That's right.
You got to make your own lane. You got to be different than everybody else. And if you can't do that, then
I thought it was cool, man.
Yeah.
I was really intrigued by what got you in that thought process. Like, waking up one day going, hey, man, I'm just going to expose this, but you just explained it. I think it's awesome. Keep it up, man.
I think it all stemmed from an article I was reading about Chicago in 2014 where a young girl that got shot or something, and then I started reading the stats, and I was like, this is insane. Like, people need to know about this. And it's not just Chicago. It's all throughout every major city throughout this country. So, not the big ones like Vegas and shit, because they invest money in Vegas and New York and shit like that. But there are major cities, actually.
Well, then they don't have these acts and statues out there, boys, that are, saying, well, you can't have a gun. There are some people out there that might be mean, so we can't let any of you have a gun. No. There are safe zones over here that you can talk in, and tiers over here that we will keep for your mother.
Right. And it reminds me of World Star Hip Hop, the whole hip hop culture, all the things that people, like I said, Eminem, big deal, he dropped the song. I wish he would go away and just never come back because he's done so much destruction to the culture and the youth, even though he may influence future rappers. But guess what? We don't need any more rappers.
Well, I do have to quote somebody. I think he's a good friend of ours. If I'm right, it might either be the Rev or Zach Odom. I'm not entirely sure who I'm quoting here, but somebody posted earlier. Yeah, I heard it, and he said a whole bunch of words that rhymed, but didn't make any fucking sense. And
that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started writing a rhyme. Well, I do write rhymes, but I don't know.
Zach or somebody, I don't know.
So did Bob Dylan.
There's nothing wrong with being a rapper. The thing is that if you're going to do something, be good at it. Don't do it half-assed, because you got enough half-assed
boys,
rappers that don't.
As far as musicians, yo, what the fuck you want?
Buster, no.
Buster,
Come
on in, boy. I got it.
The late 80s and the early 90s, the golden age of hip-hop. Back when hip-hop it wasn't controlled by outside powers of people trying to manipulate it and make money off of it. It still was, but it still had a feeling.
Let him sniff your hand so he knows.
Rappers, and then you have hip-hop. Now, rappers are the poetry. What hip-hop is a lifestyle. And that's what we're doing, is this crappy lifestyle that the hip-hop scene creates.
Put his hand.
Right, and then that line, that second thing you were saying, hip-hop, there's a line blur there where it becomes pop-hop. And that's where you get, the white guy from Detroit. You get these other rappers that do shotgun.
Put your hand right here.
ICP, even though they're underground, they're from Detroit. I go way back on hip-hop, man. I've studied hip-hop. Just like I said, I'm not a rapper or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I could be if I wanted to. At one point in time, that might have been a possibility. But I realized that so many people are doing it that are not good at it and getting praised for it. And that pisses me off. And that's another thing I'm passionate about is hip-hop.
I'll tell you this, man, and
music in general.
I truly respect the people in the truth movement community. Payday Monsanto, the facts, even the song with me.
Buster's telling y'all guys is wrong right now.
Ninja Scroll, don't forget Ninja Scroll. Right. Ninja Scroll, all these guys. I'm gonna tell you something. Like, their music is real music. Like, it is blood, sweat, and tears. It ain't cookie cutter crap. And these guys speak about real things. It ain't like the lamestream crap that you hear on the radio. That's just junk and it's garbage. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I don't even have a tolerance, so I will shut it off. If I have you throw me to shut it off, if being played around me, I will do so. And if they have a problem with it, well, we can gladly take it up with me while I'm standing there in front of you. But it's junk. It's meant for programming purposes. And that's it. Nothing else but that.
Right, and it reminds me, I know we got to take a break here, but it reminds me of that song that came out. Remember, Video Killed the Radio Star? That needs to be pushed around. Radio needs to kill the video, the television. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what destroyed music to me.
Boys, it's happening in slow motion,
MTV
right?
Started, and, they played music 24 hours a day in the beginning. And shit like that.
And more reality.
And then you got all these stupid shows. Look at it now. It's like 16 and Pregnant. It's like, what happened to MTV? You know what I'm saying? Like,
M means music.
It means Masonic television. That's what it means.
Now.
That's what it means. And they're in bed with BET and VH1. That's why when there's an award show on, it's on 30 channels, is because they all control all that. They control all those channels at one time.
6 of them.
Yeah. More than that.
6 scumbags. All the
people are like, did you see the BET Awards? I'm like, how could you not? It's on 60 channels. How could you miss it?
This is true, ladies and gentlemen. We do have to get to break, man. I know it's that unfortunate time that we shut up and start playing a little bit of music here and get all of our collective shit together. You've got the Mouth. You've got Mr. Friday Night Dennis Ford and the Renegade joining us as well, man. It's the Friday Night Super Show, the one and only place where you go to get real truth, kids, man. Boys, do you have anything to add before we kick it off into...
No, I don't. I'm ready for some music. So, yeah, everybody come back. Second hour's coming up. Renegade, if you can hang out, more than welcome.
Gotcha.
Callers, that's up to you, Lee. But, yeah, I'm here. I'm not doing anything, so...
if you know the guest calling number, you can please feel free to go ahead and call in, man. We'll have a good time. If not, you got to deal with us 3 bastards, and we're fucking dicks. So, sorry. That's just the way it is, man. You're gonna have to deal with us, putting that truth.
The switch if you want.
We got to put that truth right up in your face, smack you upside it with it, flip you over, rub you down, smack it again. You know, it's the way it is, man. It's not like we want to, okay? We just have to. And that's just the fucking long and short of it, kids. I mean, I wish I could have a loftier purpose for us other than spreading the truth that might exactly set you free. But we don't. I really don't know if there's a loftier purpose out there, boys. You know, I could be wrong.
Right.
Just saying.
I don't want to. I'll be home on election day. But, yeah, hit the music.
I know I will.
Let's take a break.
You know, kids, man, we are rocking it out. More current events coming up. Kent might even join us here later on in the show. You never know how drunk we're all going to get. So it's the Friday Night Super Show. It's where we have drinks and talk about real shit. I'm the Mouth, along with Dennis Ford and Renegade Smith, and we'll be back right here on the Last Voice for Liberty Network.
Yeah. The gold reserve got my tongue super loose and comfortably numb, more focused than ever and ready for whatever's to come. While Big Pharma got the populace wonderfully dumb, addicted to deadly drugs to keep them under their thumb. You're dealing with scum, handsomely paid to peddle poison. Enjoy something that grows out of the ground, that annoys them, destroy them, let them know you're privy to their supporters of NAMBLA and actors who follow a script similar to Tony Danza. Who's the boss? It'll cost if you're a gambler. I'll disappear you off of the grid like Adam Lanza. My mantra, incarcerate inquisitors and put them on serotonin reuptake inhibitors. That I give them, the law. And you're walking the plank. The treatment you're receiving is no different from stepchilds. You keep swallowing semen of these demons and reptiles. When will you learn? Pyros are working together, taking turns, and they're only in. Yeah. The gold reserve got my tongue super loose and comfortably numb, more focused than ever and ready for whatever's to come. While Big Pharma got the populace wonderfully dumb, addicted to deadly drugs to keep them under their thumb. You're dealing with scum, handsomely paid to peddle poison. Enjoy something that grows out of the ground, that annoys them, destroy them, let them know you're privy to their thin scam. Stand tall, don't ever fall for the flim flam. Most politicians are supporters of NAMBLA and actors who follow a script similar to Tony Danza. Who's the boss? It'll cost if you're a gambler. I'll disappear you off of the grid like Adam Lanza. My mantra, incarcerate inquisitors and put them on serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Pharmaceutical giants should lose all privileges, incarcerate their contributors, strip them of their visitors. All I got is a gold pot to piss in, a pole pot position, controlled opposition. They won't stop the mission, they don't got the vision. My cold got them shivering, I'm so hot, I'm sizzling. I am not a slave to the rhythm. The rhythm is a victim of an ancient predilection that I give them. The law of nature on which I base the decision. Obama was the president, but I voted for Shirley Chisholm. Sharks might not be surrounding you yet, but you just wait till the moment that you're drowning in debt. You'll be so much more than upset. You'll be loading your weapon, step into the eye of the threat. Sharks, they are all around you. One drop of blood and they start to surround you. You better stop talking to skanks. They seduce you on the ship and you're walking the plank. The treatment you're receiving is no different from stepchilds. You keep swallowing semen of these demons and reptiles. When will you learn? Pyros are working together, taking turns, and their only endeavor is to make it burn. Hey yo, I had enough of this Justice Department suck my dick, fuck that bitch. I will force feed her the poison from a puffer fish. These snuffleupagus motherfuckers in love with this hot potato, but they won't even touch it with some oven mitts. Now that I understand the level of deceit, to keep these devils in their seat and let them pedal on the street. Their pathetic, apologetic rhetoric, they won't compete with the veracity and the tenacity that can't be beat. Suckers and tyrants, they both act as one. The best way to expose them is to make them act like one. Look at all these evil people making a killing. Literally, I'll make the gargoyles come to life and eat the people in your building. Sharks might not be surrounding you yet, but you just wait till the moment that you're drowning in debt. You'll be so much more than upset. You'll be loading your weapon, step into the eye of the threat. Sharks, they are all around you. One drop of blood and they start to surround you. You better stop talking to skanks. They seduce you on the ship and you're walking the plank. Word magic has let the oligarchy step on your voice. Man, I'm telling you, it's the pirate's favorite weapon of choice. Lady Liberty has been literally keeping people in misery. The context is more complex than the prison industry. They're parasitically feeding upon the citizenry, leading it, ritualistically feeding it so habitually. America's in a crisis, getting massacred by ISIS. You could be Al-Qaeda, so your constitution don't mean shit to me. You look suspicious, miss. Step out your car, please. Civil forfeiture, we're collecting like Barclays. We'll take your cash and we'll wipe out your cars, please. And trying to get it back is worse than ripping out shark teeth. I hate to sound unkind, but all that does is cloud your mind. I hope you get to take some time away from shit that makes you blind. My self-contained underwater breathing apparatus lets me see these sharks for who they are and come report the status. Sharks might not be surrounding you yet, but you just wait till the moment that you're drowning in debt. You'll be so much more than upset. You'll be loading your weapon, step into the eye of the threat. Sharks, they are all around you. One drop of blood and they start to surround you. You better stop talking to skanks. They seduce you on the ship and you're walking the plank. Sharks. Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Sharks. Say what? Say what? What? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Sharks. Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? What? Say 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 what?
Yesterday's too long ago. Don't agree with what I know. Tomorrow got no place to be. I see the line in the sand. Time to find out who I am. Looking back to see where I stand. Evolution.
Shit, fuck, I thought we was live. We're not. We are now live. I'm sorry that you had to endure at least 2 minutes worth of silence, for Christ's sakes. Let's keep this going by, kicking something else in. I'm sorry, kids, man.
So you mean you wasn't even playing music? We were just talking in the background?
Oh, we was playing music. It kind of died. Fuck, man. Help me out here. Where the fuck are you?
So that's what I'm saying. We need people in the studio. Anybody that wants to be an apprentice, to learn how to run radio shows, get in touch with Lee Fair. You can hang out with them. You can learn the craft. You know, maybe one day you can have your own show.
He's talking to you, motherfucker, just so you know. We'll be back here, kids. I'm sorry for that delay. We will be back here in just a couple minutes as soon as we get our shit together here, for fuck's sakes. This is all my goddamn fault, and I can't even blame anybody. Fuck. We'll be back on the Friday Night Super Show.
I might offend a few of the blue noses with my cocky stride and musky odors. Oh, I'll never be the darling of the so-called city fathers who cluck their tongues, stroke their beards, and talk about what's to be done with it.
Friday Night Super Show.
Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but it seems to me that when the giant that holds up the earth dies, we are screwed.
She had that Camarillo Brillo flaming out along ahead. I mean her Mendocino Beano, by where some bugs had made it red. She ruled the toads of these short forests and every newt in Idaho, and every cricket who had chorus by the bush in Buffalo. She said she was a magic mama, and she could throw a mean tarot, and carried on without a comma, that she was someone I should know. She had a snake for a pet, and an amulet, and she was breeding a dwarf, but she wasn't done yet. She had gray-green skin, a doll with a pin. I told her she was alright, but I couldn't come in. I couldn't come in right then. And so she wandered through the doorway, just like a shadow from the tomb. She said her stereo was four-way, and I just love it in her room. Well, I was born to have adventure, so I just followed up the steps, right past a fuming incense stencher, to where she hung her castanets. She stripped away her rancid poncho and laid out naked by the door. We did it till we were on concho, and it was useless anymore. She had a snake for a cat and an amulet, and she was breeding a dwarf, but she wasn't done yet. She had gray-green skin, a doll with a pin. I told her she was alright, but I couldn't come in. Actually, that was very good. And so she wandered through the doorway, just like a shadow from the tomb. She said a stereo was four-way, and I just love it in her room. Well, I was born to have adventure, so I just followed up the steps, right past the fuming incense stencher, to where she hung her castanet. She said she was a magic mama, and she could throw a mean tarot, and carried on without a comma, that she was someone I should know. poncho? I mean, is that a Mexican poncho or is that a Sears poncho?
My name is Shake Sula, the mic ruler, the old schooler. You want a trick? I'll bring it to you. Find out that I'm all caught, rock you like a cop, me round your necks, walking up now. Me why make the money, see? Me why get the honey, she? Traveling in my car, living like a star. Ice on my fingers and my toes and I'm a toys. Check it, yeah. 'Cause we are the Aqua Teens, make the homie say ho.
That's right, number one in the hood, G. It's the Friday Night Super Show right back here on the Last Voice for Liberty Network. I'm the mouth laughing and scratching along with my tag team partner, man. My brother like no other. He should have won the Pulitzer because, goddamn, Bob Dylan can't be a poet like this motherfucker can. Dennis Ford, how in the hell is you?
You're too nice, Lee. You're too nice. My thing is am I the 10th caller? Because I'm really trying to win those kids' tickets.
We're really trying to. That's right, kids. The 10th caller does win kids' tickets live at Cobo Hall right here, Detroit Rock City, babies. And who's our first caller? Who do we have? Renegade Smith. How you doing, buddy?
I thought this was to try to call in to try to win the silver chair tickets. I'm on the wrong show.
Well, yeah, and that you need to time travel back to about 20 fucking years ago when they were still relevant. So, because that band sucks, okay? They suck.
A shadow band. They come and go like a shadow.
Oh my Christ, do they suck? They sucked almost as bad as Bush and Godsmack, for Christ. And those people suck, all right? I've heard some people suck before, but they are the suckiest sucks that have ever fucking... Oh, shit. Hang on. I got to clean this up. My damn wiener kids are in the room.
Don't forget the flaming lips. Going for problems. There's a bunch of crap out there. Well,
yeah, that's a good point, though. That's a good point, though, because like I said, if you look at music, not just hip-hop, but just music in general, when it comes to alternative music, country music, pop music, we had the best music when I was growing up. The shit that they have nowadays is going to influence the future generations of kids growing up. That could influence me, and I have a problem with that because all the music out nowadays is garbage, and that's what influences people to make in the future generations. It's more garbage because we didn't have garbage. We had real music. I mean, I could go all day long telling you about all the music that was real music when I was growing up.
All day and tomorrow.
In the mid-'90s, like I said, it all changed. Yeah, the 60s and 70s, even before I was born. Even back then, it was still, it was still amazing music. But like I said, I was a part of, I wasn't at the beginning of hip hop, but I was at the beginning of Nintendo. All this technology is a whole other aspect of it. All the toys, all the predictive programming shit that we went through as children with G.I. Joe, the American hero. The more you know, all that shit. That whole cartoon was about world domination by a group called Cobra. That's a big snake. Wow, think about that. So, like I said, we were at the beginning of a lot of shit, at least when I was growing up, and I've seen it influence me when I was growing up, but we don't have that generation anymore because, like I said, in the 90s, hip-hop and entertainment and politics all took a different path that I don't agree with because, like I said,
don't forget Transformers, the transhumanism agenda.
Yeah, all that old shit. You know what I'm saying? They remake movies. Like, they'll release a movie of some shit that I was watching as a kid, and it'll be like Transformers or G.I. Joe, and it's like The Rock's in it. I'm like, what happened? Like, what happened to the shit that I used to, even comics, like if you look at the comic book movies, all those comics that people don't even know about, it's what they're going out and watching. They're like, oh, I'm going to go see Deadpool. You don't even know what Deadpool is unless you understand the comic culture of where he originated from.
So it goes on and on and on. Look at the time of the year that we're in right now. We're in October, Halloween's coming up, and everyone's got candy. And we were in a Wawa, which is a convenient mart up here, a PA. It's pretty freaking huge, by the way. I wish I owned it because, I did help a lot of people. Like billions of dollars I make. But anyway, I was next to this woman, and she was buying, candy bars and stuff for her kids and all. And I just, you know me, I'm not afraid to speak out. And I was so tempted to look at her and be like, this candy ain't even like it was back when we were kids. Because it really ain't. It's GMO.
No, I don't know. You should have been like, after you buy the candy, make sure you go in the back and get the flu shot, lady. Thanks for the ride, lady. Thanks for the ride, lady. Thanks for the ride.
Free flu shots, even though they're not free.
Yeah, I was in
dollars paid for it.
I was in Rite Aid. No, this is a true story. I was in Rite Aid a few weeks ago, and over the loudspeaker in the store, it was like, "Get your flu shot today. Just come on over." And I went outside, and this guy was outside. He was like, "They're talking about flu shots. They can't even give that shit away nowadays." And I was like, "Yeah, that's the point. That's essentially the point." I'm glad that somebody understands.
That's why.
But they try to brainwash you, and they cut off the Hall of Notes that they're playing, and they're like, "Hey, get your flu shot," right in the middle of the song, and then the song comes back on, and people are like, "Oh yeah, that's right, a flu shot. I got a flu shot. I haven't got a flu shot this year." Blah, 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 blah. You don't want to do that. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but you don't want to do that.
And by the way, it is listed as the most dangerous vaccine to get to date, and that was released by our so concerned and.
Well, they don't give a shit. They're buying GMO candy, and why not? Let's just party it up. Let's get a flu shot while we're here. Why not? Pick up some alcohol on the way out. We'll be good. So, that's American society. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the Idiocracy film, live version, documentary style. That's what we're dealing with. The only thing that's missing from that movie in modern day life is like really putting a Coliseum show on where people, like the UFC, but like for real. Like, let's give them machetes and shit and just watch them cut each other up. Maybe they're convicted molesters or child molesters. Let's just let them kill each other on Channel 4 News. Let's watch it. That's where we're heading, and that's what everybody wants.
These people are willingly turning themselves over for eugenics. They are
in the media
because they believe the lie. Oh,
that's what I'm saying. And the media,
they love us.
Renegades, the television, the media, and everybody is going to tiptoe around the point that we love violence, but they won't ever promote it. But they promote it, in different ways.
You want to violence? You want to talk about violence? Put that flu vaccine in your body one time and watch how violently it acts against you.
Right. It'll be the news, and it'll go to commercial. It'll go to commercial, and it'll be like a video game where it's just like all death and destruction, or they'll run an alcohol commercial. When I was growing up, alcohol commercials were banned from television. I don't know why, but I remember that. When I was growing up, there were no alcohol commercials. But nowadays, it's like every 3 or 4 commercials is just the repeat of them telling you to buy alcohol. Why? That's for a reason.
The best ones are the freaking pharmaceutical companies. They're putting out a new drug or a new this or that.
Yeah, that's another one.
Sitting there watching the lovely picture that you're looking at with the sun in the background and nice green grass and children running here and there. This person's walking with a smile on their face. But, when it started, they weren't so happy. They were like, kind of doubled over with, like, I don't know, some gas pains or something. And now all of a sudden,
it's like a commercial with a cartoon. Whatever's wrong in your body, there's like a cartoon version of that. If you have intestinal problems, there's a cartoon of your intestines, and he's like, "Do you have problems?" Blah 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 blah, and then they tell you about it, and then during the break, when they break it down and music stops, they're like, "This is all the shit we're gonna tell you is worse than this shit cures, but you're gonna get it because your doctor told you to get it." And that reminds me of fluoride when it comes to dentists. And I had this discussion with somebody that actually works at a dentist's office and was telling me, I need fluoride for my teeth, right? The point is that, I'm saying the point is when you talk to 10 dentists, there's going to be one of them that's not going to agree with the narrative because he knows what's really going on. But the other 9 have been going to college and paid money. They paid money for people to brainwash them into believing this is the shit that we need to tell people. And if you don't tell people this, we'll put you out of business and you're, it's malpractice.
or whatever it is, whatever they call this shit. Go back to the TV commercials. You know, they have these people all happy and they're walking down the street and all they start mentioning the side effects, but no one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear the side effects.
It's like, why is there fluoride still to this day, Renegade? I had to go check this out for myself.
Boys, we got Spence Kent joining us right now.
You know, the baby water that they still sell to this day, and nobody gives a shit. Babies don't even have teeth, and it don't help their bones, let me tell you.
I know, ain't that funny?
Nothing good.
Here, give us a little head to your kids. You can dumb them down and kill their teeth.
Well, what do people always say? I'll kill anybody that tries to hurt one of my children. If anybody tries to hurt my kids, I'll kill them. But you do it every day. So who's really the enemy here? You know, who are we really talking about? You know? That's all I'm saying. You feed your kids. Like I said, Halloween's coming up. You're going to send your kids all around the neighborhood to get a bunch of candy and eat. They're going to eat this shit and it's going to, you know, it's bad for them. But you promote it.
Yeah, you better.
Oh, isn't he cute in his little costume? Look at his little costume. He looks like a little pirate. It's not funny.
You need to keep this cute little princess over there. Go get your candy. Go get your candy. Dress for the house. Oh, and it's a funny thing because your whole life you're told, don't take candy from strangers, but it's okay on Halloween to go up to that house to people you don't know and take candy from.
And here's another thing from the old school where I'm from. Back in the day when I was trick-or-treating, because I was, you know, my parents were under that shit too, and we would go trick-or-treating, and not to knock it, you know what I'm saying? I understand the ideas behind it. I understand where it comes from because it's a moneymaker. If you look at any holiday in the United States of America, they make money on these holidays. It's the reason why they have them. My point is if you didn't have candy when I came to your door on Halloween, yeah, I was going to put an M80 in your mailbox. Sorry, I don't know what happened to kids nowadays. They're not doing shit like that. But if you didn't have candy when, you know, trick-or-treat, do you know what that means? If you don't have candy, you know, you might get toilet paper. I'm sorry.
Well, I go back to the Druid meeting at trick-or-treat.
You know, I was talking to Austin about that. He was like, in Detroit, we used to just burn the house down if they didn't have candy. You know, nobody lives there. Let's just burn it down. That's trick-or-treat. They don't understand even what it means, but they celebrate. Just like Christmas, everything else. Oh, I know what it means. Valentine's Day is for love. No, that's a day designed for you to go buy shit you could have bought the rest of the year, but today they told you it's special.
You're going to buy a card. It's about giving cards and showing your fake love. People mistaking love. Love is an action word. They think they can give a card that shows their love. They can just say, I love you. No, love's an action. You got to prove it. You got to show it.
Especially if there's money in it. You know, if you put money in it, you really love me.
Oh, there's a diamond ring in here. Well, thank you. I love you. I love you, do you? You love my mother. That ring. You don't love me. What was love last night when you walked away?
Yeah, see, that's why I pity Donald Trump and all these rich people, because they have these nice trophy wives and shit, but they have to buy them shit for them to even get any from them. And Donald Trump is, you know, we know what he does. I mean, this dude has a lot of money, Renegade. Let's be honest. I mean, he's probably got women in every state. You know?
Definitely in his hair. If you ain't in his hair, you get laid the hairstyle.
It's the reason why Beyonce married Jay-Z. It ain't for his looks, because he looks like a large-mouth trout bass or some shit. You know, he's just
Joe Camel.
It's ridiculous. You know, yeah, Joe Camel. He just looks like the camel on the pack of cigarettes. But where's Lee Peer? Who's running the show here tonight?
I was just going to ask that. Are we off the rails? Are we off the rails? Where's Lee Peer?
We're here. No, I think he handed us over to somebody or something.
I'm still here, boys.
At least take a potty break.
Take care of something.
Well, you can't do that, man. We're running the radio show here.
Lee's taking a poop.
Lee is the guy during the break to be like, let's be professional about the radio show, and we see what's going on right now, don't we? What's the problem?
You're going
to log in the studio or something?
I'll tell you what happened. He had Halloween candy. He's doubled over right now in the pantry.
You like to think that, wouldn't you?
I pissed him off. He don't want to talk about it no more. You said something, Renegade.
You want to go Halloween? He's feeling fun, I heard.
But either way, like I said, in the information areas, like I said, I'm not the smartest person. I'm not the sharpest knife in the fucking drawer, is what I'm saying. But I know things. You know what I'm saying? I study things. If it's something I'm interested in, I'm studying it. Just like radio. It's not that people that do radio, I haven't studied and listened to their shows throughout my time doing this. Even before that, I grew up listening to talk radio. Leaf here knows this, you know, like growing up listening to radio. Like these old DJs that would sit in a radio station and play music late at night. They're like, oh, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to blah, 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 blah. And their 10th caller wins tickets to Ray Charles this weekend. You know, so I grew up on that shit. Plus, added on top of everything else that I'm interested in. Like I said, when it comes to certain aspects of things that I've studied and I'm interested in, I took time to invest to learning this shit. So it makes it important for people to understand where I'm coming from.
I think it would only be smart to learn the world around you, not take it for granted. Hey,
well, in the information age.
In the studio. Who's learning the studio?
Nobody. I guess we here fell off the couch or whatever.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we got who's this, Spec Kid?
I have come here to chew bubble gum and to spank my monkey. What's up, guys?
Not much. I'm glad you called in because, like I said, it's just me and Renegade talking to each other about
well, he
shit.
was on a second ago, man. I don't know what happened, but, I wasn't sure if you guys could hear me or not.
Yeah, Lee is tied up right at that moment.
I think he's bubble gum. Everybody's talking about the hot rod. Rowdy Piper.
That's right. But
I miss him, man. I missed him so bad. He was a warrior for good.
This is what I was talking about earlier. This is what I was talking about earlier before the break. Even something like wrestling, something that I grew up watching, was so much better when I was growing up and when I was younger. Nowadays, it's just garbage. But still, you see how much money they make. You see how much money the NFL makes. And they even wear pink this month. They're wearing pink again. And they do that every year.
They do that for Cancer Month every year. I was big time into wrestling back in the days at the WWF with Rowdy Piper, of course. Big Giant, Snooker, Iron Sheik, Jewish Animal Steel, and then I found out it was fake.
It is fake.
No. Then I said,
it is fake.
This no more.
It is fake. And the thing is that the WWF, the WWE nowadays will be honest with you and let you know that this is all for entertainment. It's all bullshit. But when it comes to politics, the NFL, entertainment, movies, they want you to think it's really real. But we all know it's fake. You know, let's be honest about this shit.
Real quick question. I stepped outside. It's kind of windy here. Is that affecting the show at all?
No, you're good. Like I said, I don't know what Leap here is, but Ken, while we got you on the line, Ken, I'm kind of interested in
raccoon or possum or an armadillo, like really close to me, coming up around the woods here. So I have to keep my eyes open, but I'm out here. I'm here. Actually, this has happened before when I was out here on the show. An armadillo came running up, a couple of them right past my feet, practically ran into my leg and shit, and freaking kept running off. So they don't bite. They're just blind and stupid. And I can hear them right now. They're keep from me, man. I'm out right in the edge of the woods here, and they're like 20. I'm out down in Florida, so there's the critters out here, man.
You got armadillo. Can you literally take them things, get them to roll up in a ball, and like punk them like a football or something, or bounce them like a basketball?
Couldn't do that, but they are
at least try.
Running up on me, running over my feet. I'm like, get away, man, because I mean, I'm not, they're cool in the daytime, but at night they get freaking out. They run all over the place. One time a few months ago, I was on the Super Show, and I'm like, guys, I got armadillos running all around me right now. And I did, and they're out there in the woods right now. I can eat them. But anyways,
you know what? Hold on. Time out. What you just said sounds like politics in America. You got armadillos running around, poking you and messing with you and shit, and you're trying to live your life, right?
Yeah, I'd rather it for an armadillo, if I had a vote. I'd go to this armadillo.
Hillary Clinton's a raccoon, reptilian hybrid. You don't even know, bro. She's like half Terminator. I'm telling you.
One red eye,
when you got ready, we're talking about, what Chump and Killer are up to, and I actually believe this whole situation right now that we're witnessing was like we were just talking about WWE, is planned out from well over a year ago. And I'll tell you,
doesn't follow me here, I'll start with Bernie Sanders. Over a year ago, Bernie Sanders said, he started this little Feel the Burn thing. He said that if he doesn't get the nomination, that he would support Hillary. But most people didn't hear that. Well, I did. And I was telling the Feel the Burners, the Feel the Burnouts, hey, man, he's not going to get the nomination. Quit wasting your time. They didn't listen. I was like, you ever heard of superdelegates? In one ear, out the other.
Well, now I'm going to block you. I'm blocking you.
Now they sure know what the superdelegates are, don't they? But anyways, I'm going to save a lot of I told you so's for them. But anyways, it started with him because he was going to be the outside the establishment rebel, right? So meanwhile, it was
like Ron Paul, Ron Paul back then. Remember that?
Ron Paul was still the deal, though. That's the difference.
I know Ron Paul is completely different, but my point is that it was a glimmer of hope that people believed in.
Yeah, and so let's go look at some Republicans.
The deck of cards.
Right,
let's go the deck of cards.
Go ahead. All right, well, just follow me. Now let's go over to the Republican side where they had, the same usual faces up there, and then you bring in Donald Trump, the anti-establishment guy at the same time Bernie. So obviously Bernie, got screwed because of the superdelegates, and there was a plan. I think he was in on it all along. Now, listen, I have no evidence on this, no proof, and you know how I am with Dennis and Lee without evidence and proof. But I also do believe in logic and common sense, so let's just put the pieces together and try to connect the dots. Yep. Now you've got so Trump gets the Republican nominee. All right, of course Bernie turns it over to Hillary. So now you've got those two sitting up the top now and ready to rock. I think they were all involved from the get-go. Trump has been friends with Hillary, whatever you want to call her, Hillary, all along. Bingo. Like, how get Hillary, elected, put her up against the biggest schmuck you can find, and there you go. That's what they did. Vince McMahon playing this shit out for him,
I bet you he did. I bet you he did.
It's so obvious because, he's not even trying to get elected. He's just, trying to get her in the White House, and this is probably playing out from the get-go from the powers that be. And, got all these people involved. Let's act like we're anti-establishment, put this shit out. And then we have these two candidates, and everybody's stuck with them. And meanwhile, the sheep are still either Hillary or Trump, Hillary or Trump, or Hillary and Trump, whatever you're going to call them. But, just connect the dots here. Obviously, this looks like something staged that, they would do, on the WWE roster. They planned for shit for a year. They've been planning the Goldberg.
Well, let me tell you something, Kent.
That's their match for over a year.
Yeah, this is WrestleMania, but this is nothing new. This happened with Obama, both elections. This happened with Bush, both elections. And this happened on and on and on and on and on. It's nothing new. They keep doing it.
Really on this one because they brought Bernie Sanders and they brought on these anti-establishment people.
I think WWE learned from politics. That's why the wrestling style that as an Olympic style wrestling, the real wrestling that is, you win gold medals and shit. Okay, well, people that understood that, they took it and they were like, well, let's put politics in it, and they manipulate it, and that's where you get WWE, and that's where you get UFC as well, because UFC is basically a chicken fight with two humans, but it's corporations involved. They're wearing sponsors and shit on their pants, but politicians don't do that. They want you to figure it out on your own. Who's sponsoring them? Who's doing what? Who's pulling the strings? Well, we know who's pulling the strings.
Not about that real quick. Let me spit a couple bars. My song, losing choice with the facts. If you haven't heard it, check it out on SoundCloud. Basically, if you look at the elections, come on, guys, what are they? They're freaking losing choice. That's all it is. People honestly feel that they can cast a vote for this public. But now, listen, I'm not talking about your public, your local and state. Yeah, I'm sure that they kind of still go off of votes.
No, that's Freemason territory. Your local state, cops, sheriffs, that's Freemasons. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, there you go. What will you ever learn? How many more times will you get burned? Don't be fooled by that suit and tie. They are politicians. All they do is lie. You think by now every single American would have figured this out. No, many never do. They would rather live blind than to see the truth. They place their trust, hope, and faith into a corrupt candidate. You got the bumper sticker on your car, the T-shirt and campaign sign in your front yard, as if that makes any difference. They are politicians. They do not listen. Some of them even claim to be Christians. The photo shoot in the church got your attention. Land of the sheep, home of the slave. Welcome to the USA. Take a look around, see all the dumb down, and they're looking for the handout. Many people don't know what it means to be free. All they know is what they see on the TV. They silence their voice on roadside count the illusion of choice. Oh,
that's nice. Hey, I believe about Hillary getting elected, because most likely she will. If this is a big plan, like I'm saying, again, I have got no proof or evidence, but I'm just using logic and common sense and connecting the dots. It obviously looks that way to people that are awake, what I just said. But I don't think she's going to last 8 years. I think this is a 4-year scheme, because over on the Republican side, you got a whole bunch of fucking people, and I can tell you right now, Ted Cruz is CFR. He is a danger. He will be president. He will, yeah, and he will be president, and I will think he'll probably take over after.
No, you're right, because it is a 4-year plan, because like I said, real quick, like I said, in 2020 we get Adam Kokesh, so we can all have a big party, right? We can all celebrate. We just gotta wait 4 years. We just gotta wait.
I worry about Ted Cruz. I really do, because I mean, this guy's, he's around my age, so he's considered young, in the 40s. And, Hillary's already 70 or whatever, almost 70. So I think she's going to last dead. She's the next CFR already. That's Ted Cruz, because Ted Cruz, Hillary, freaking look at John McCain and John Kerry. One's got an R at the end of his name, the other a D. One's a Republican, Democrat. But they sure love that military spending. They sure love to do the same thing that the people out there that don't know what the CFR is, it's the Council on Foreign Relations, and it's basically a strong arm of the banks.
Yeah, they used to say that didn't exist. We don't know what that means.
Rockefellers, all them. That's their freaking, telling our puppets what to do. And so everybody, man, please, America, wake the fuck up and learn your shit. I mean, and obviously, we'll see in 4 years what happens after Hillary gets elected, because I know already Trump ain't going to get elected. He's not going to get elected.
I'll say this. In 4 years, hold on. In 4 years, if we make it that long, 4 more years, I might just run for president. How about that? You guys
I'll support that ticket. Because I am that kind of leader.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. This is a serious one. I'm actually have been reluctant to even bring this up on air, but we know how these people are. They're a bunch of satanic scumbags. They love sacrifices. Look at 9/11. It was a massive blood sacrifice. And I forgot, Lee Peer made a really good point about earlier with his title for it. Well, we know how they operate. There's actually a book written, and it actually exposes Hillary Clinton seducing a very young girl. She was an anti-culture victim. So let me ask you guys a question. Could she be the next blood sacrifice? The next, quote, say she gets up there and, they whack her.
That could be part of it, but I want to point out something real quick. Yeah, I just want to point out something real quick before we even get on that kind of path, is that, if you look at Trump, they're like, oh, he grabbed her by the crotch, But think about Bill Clinton. Let's talk about Bill Clinton for a second, if you want to. I can guarantee you this guy's been to the Grove. He's been to the Grove, let me tell you. And I'm sure he's been involved. He paid his dues. This is what I'm saying. He paid his dues to make sure that his wife is linked up with the most disgusting, vile pieces of shit that walk the planet that we live on. And he did that. And she's done that. And if you want to talk about sacrifice, she probably needs to die. She probably does, because her being on this planet is just a path of destruction, and so is her husband and everybody that follows them and everybody that supports them. It's like a venom. How far do you want to take the New World Order? How far do you want to take the New World Order, the progressive plan? Because she'll fulfill it. She'll dominate it. She's a master politician. She killed all these people on this list, right? Even the guy at the UN that was going to testify against her the day before it was supposed to go to court, he committed suicide by falling on his head. Imagine that.
The recent one? Wasn't that the recent one?
Yeah, that was, yeah. So this continues to happen. And also, is involved with Al-Qaeda back in the 90s. Don't get into the CIA program where you get ISIS and shit. They still talk about ISIS in debates. The point is that they're funding ISIS. They wouldn't even be talking about ISIS unless they were giving them money, thinking about, oh, we don't know who's the enemy. We're just helping people trying to blah, blah, blah. That's your problem. You got to fix America first. And so a politician...
They have to talk about ISIS. It's the boogeyman.
Well, that's the war on terror and the war on drugs. The war on drugs, we already lost that because they're linked up in Afghanistan shipping opium and heroin into the United States of America right now. How many people have overdosed on heroin in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years? It's an epidemic in this country. And guess why? Because your government controls the opium, which is the purest that comes out of Afghanistan. And that's all I'm saying.
We all saw the pictures of the protecting the poppy fields, the opium fields.
Oh, yeah, they do that. Yeah. My buddy's in the military. I'm not going to name his name, but he's in the military, and I told him about that. And he's like, well, I've been over in Afghanistan. I fought with Twin Blackhawks, and I seen that going on, but I didn't really know, and I'm like, well, yeah, it's all about the money, man. I mean, I don't jump on and down all these
you didn't sign up to fight for my freedom. You didn't sign up to fight for my freedom because I don't have any fucking freedom.
But it's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about the power and control. That's what comes with the money. The money, power and control. The money is like a stepping stone. It's about power and control. That's the ultimate. It's not even about the money. The money gives it power and control.
Their money. That's how they do it. That's why the head of the snake is the banking system. Those Rothschilds and Rockefellers.
How do you expect to be, progress if all you do is send money on war? That doesn't really make sense to me. But you already have an atomic bomb. I'm saying you have the biggest bomb that can end the world, and you have a bunch of them. A stockpile of nuclear weapons. But you're still spending money on weapons. What's wrong with you? What are these fucking people? Where do they come from? Like, what are you doing?
Seriously. Did you take notice about the double speak that was going on in the third debate? Trump mentioned, and not only this one, but the second one as well, about these people paying their dues. Why are we funding to defend all these countries? Isn't it time they stepped up and paid us to do so? But I thought, this gets back to what I was saying earlier. Like, maybe he knows he's going to lose, but in a way he wants to put out key things for the next. I mean, maybe he's trying to go against Al Gore. I don't know. This is the problem with the country.
If he goes too far, they'll kill him, though, Renegade. That's my point. And that brings him back to what we were talking about with WikiLeaks and even Edward Snowden, right? They gave him a Hollywood movie. That was a movie in Hollywood, and we're supposed to take that
movie?
serious?
I know, man. That's all that kind of shit I'm not going to watch. Like, you got to be kidding me. Unless you're trying to spin it. That's another thing, too.
Where's my movie at, though? That's what I'm saying. Where's the Dennis Ford movie? Edward Snowden got a movie? For real? Come on, man.
Shit, Dennis Ford has done leaked more fucking secrets of the United States government than Edward Snowden ever dreamed of. And, oh yes, boys, I'm here. I've been here the whole time. You guys make you guys make everything so much harder to masturbate to. It's
see, you're taking a monkey sting. I knew it.
My friends get big enough.
But if you talked more lusciously, then we can have that. But unfortunately, we don't. It's just me smashing it with the floppy, and that's all.
I was not going to start a movie real quick. This is one way they can spin things. I mean, this is what made me go, hold on a minute. So could this been a real thing? Now they're trying to spin it, create a movie, and make it go their way? You know what I mean?
Right. In a few years,
you do know that's what they do. They learned from Orwell's 1984, man. Once they think that we almost have it figured out, then they flip the script. They're trying to be Roddy Piper. And the fact of the matter is there are too many of us out there who have read the script and know all the plot lines, man. We see where this is going. You can't fucking, call yourself a Native American and be a Puerto Rican in the goddamn parade. You ain't gonna fly.
No, but the Roddy Piper shit is true. The Roddy Piper shit is true because just when you think you have all the answers, they change them. And that's what they're doing.
They flip script. Like I asked you guys a question. I don't know if you saw this or not. I'm not on Twitter or Twatter, whatever the heck they call it. It's just Twatter to me anyway. Twatter, whatever you want to call it. Supposedly, I saw something that came from Gene Wilder. Willy Wonka. He just died recently. He put out the meme legend. A post that he put out saying that he knew something about Hillary that could end her campaign. Is that true or not? Did you guys look into that?
Well, there was a turtle. There was a turtle that got ran over when I was out earlier, and I was thinking, what did that turtle know about Hillary Clinton? I
hit a squirrel earlier. I killed it over. I was wondering. Was that
maybe Prince? We lost Prince. We lost that gorilla.
That's right.
We lost all these people this year. Maybe they knew some shit we didn't know. Think about that.
You're right, though. I saw supposedly a tweet. I guess is what they call them, tweets. That's stupid. I think if you guys are doing something they call a tweet, why are you doing it? I mean, I don't even know what that is. I don't do that shit either. No, but you brought up this point earlier. A tweet that stated that he knew something about Hillary. It was supposedly from Gene Wilder. I'm like, is this true or not? I mean, was that a fake account that somebody
was trolling? But the WikiLeaks dude, you know what I'm saying? Just like Edward Snowden, these people are supposedly being hunted by the government and renegades of the state. Rebels. These people are out of control. This is all a show. This shit has nothing to do to us. If they wanted him, he would be dead. Oh man,
They're probably getting their props from Vince McMahon, like their advice.
Well, shit, boys. In 2012, they were singing praises of this motherfucker because he was bringing shit out against G-Dub. But now, flip the script. You got Hussein up there, and no, it's okay. Or clitoris, Hillary clitoris, whatever the fuck her goddamn name is. I really don't care.
Whatever clitoris you want to call it. But the interesting thing is that a lot of people in society, not anybody on this phone call or anybody listening, I was hope, but a lot of people in society don't even know this website or who this guy is or what he's doing. They don't understand emails. It's just too much information for them. It's too much. They're too busy getting likes and wanting to be appreciated and want people to kiss their ass, and they don't have time to invest themselves in researching not just that, but any of the other shit that we've been talking about for the last 2 hours, and that's a big problem. That's a major problem that we all need to deal with.
Especially in the movement, people aren't fucking educating themselves, but go ahead.
Danny, check this out. You mentioned you were doing research. How can you do research in this country? I've been told by multiple people that I know that are in the military, and also someone just came back from the Philippines. There's things you're hearing in these other countries that we're not hearing here. We're being censored. And get this, guys. How does this even make sense? When this government has the nerve, the balls, to go out and say, oh, they censor their people. No, screw you. You censor us tremendously. And many Americans don't even have a clue about this. But check this out. I was trying to access a corn video on YouTube. You know what told me? This video is not available in your country. No, my fault. Man, let me retract that. It said, this video is blocked in your country. Why? Why is the video from corn blocked in my country?
Corn, which actually is they originated 2 states from all 3 of us, to be quite honest.
Yeah, what was that shit they passed back in the day? It was an app, or whatever the fuck it was. It was like an internet censorship, all the things we were talking about back then. A few years ago.
Oh, you mean something that Frank Zappa and Dee Snider and Jello Biafra kind of originated in the early 1980s with the whole PMRC fight. Oh yeah, in case you kids weren't aware about the whole PMRC fight, you might take a big look into it because that's why all your music sucks nowadays.
Right. And they understand how important the internet is because if you look at the internet when it was being born and Bill Gates and all this shit, it was being left alone. It was just, we'll test it out and see how it goes. And then after a while, 10, 15 years, it blew up in their face, especially after 9/11. After 9/11, people were like, wait a minute, it's not the same anymore. At least I was. And I started asking questions.
And that's a great thing about a lot of things that they do. People question because it doesn't make sense. There's so many holes through it. It's like freaking Swiss cheese. If you look at it,
Renegade, everything you've ever been taught growing up is bad. It's filled with holes. It's just bullshit. It's lies.
It becomes all lies. You hit it on the goddamn head there, Dennis. It's all lies. And, I point this out on several shows, but, one of the most championing moments of what we do is my parents and my aunt sitting there of the same generations, looking at me go, why do you get on the radio and talk all this? And I look back at them and I said, why didn't you?
Yeah, good point.
They didn't have a damn thing left to say. And, that was it was a personally championing moment in my career, at least as far as this goes. But at the other hand, it also kind of let me know just how far back we still got to go, And this was a couple of years back, this before the old man died,
Right.
And I think that was something that stuck with him. Why didn't you?
Even let's flip the script on that. What you just said right there, I get the same thing. Why do you keep speaking out? What is it going to do? I have Christians even saying, why are you doing this? If it's God's will, it's going to be. Well, where in the Bible does it state that God said it's going to happen right here and now? No one knows the time. So until then, let's keep waking up people and stop this evil that's going on. Why? Hold on, guys. I'm going to have to jump off in like 5 minutes here. I got to get to early tomorrow. But let me ask you guys something. And I want you to, just realize what we've been talking about and what we've been speculating the whole show. This is how messed up this country has gotten. I mean, think back into the day when the media was actually there to keep the government in check and balance. Now they're not. Now they're controlled. It's absolute controlled opposition. No, the thing about this, hold on. We can't even trust them anymore. We can't trust what they're telling us. So, what? How do we ever get into this mess where we can't even say, we look at these people and go, well, what's their agenda?
It's like, wait a minute.
To begin with.
Just wait a minute. Just hold on. Wait a minute. That's what I like to say. It's like, wait a minute. Just hold on. I'm figuring out shit. You're messing up too much. I can't keep up with all the shit you're putting out.
It's freaking craziness. You know what? They keep our heads spinning. Because guess what? When you're worried about what Trump and Hillary are doing, all of a sudden we have a fake shooting over here. And an earthquake over here, and a tidal wave.
Yeah, and they lost 6.5
going on.
trillion.
Right, exactly, but that's not being talked about. But do you see what I'm saying? Why are we even in a state of affairs? Why are we even questioning? Why don't we even have to sit back and question these candidates? Why aren't they transparent and truthful? What do they have to? It blows my mind.
They can't be transparent and truthful because if they were transparent and truthful, Renegade dude, we would all see the big picture that the rest of us here on the line see. Okay? We would have lynched these mobs years ago, strung them up from the goddamn tallest tree in the land, and then been in the state of we're fuckiness, dealing with corrupted groups like Black Lives Matter, or dealing with corrupted groups like the 3%ers. And yes, y'all motherfuckers is corrupted. Yes.
Reload.org.
Right.
That one of the
But think about this, right? Even think about this, right? We all know Hillary should be in prison, right? Why is she not in prison? The FBI dropped the ball already. That's what
they refused to respond.
The citizens arrest. Putin put out a freaking hit on freaking George Soros. Why is he still walking the streets, a free billionaire? What's up with the pharmaceutical manager?
Oh, because he lives in Europe.
Why ain't they in jail?
There's a reason George Soros is still walking around as a billionaire because he lives in Europe. And so therefore, our imaginary lines in the sand fucking tell us that we can't go get him. So.
Right.
There's actually one line. There's one line that's called Us versus Them. There's one line. It's not even imaginary. Just freaking take a look at your freaking world that you live in, listeners. Take a look at the world you live in. There's no imaginary line. There is a straight-up line in the sand. It's those people versus us. Okay?
Truly is.
Stop the nonsense and let's start getting on point and uniting here. And let's take the power back. These people, why are we tolerating it?
Renegade's being nice to you.
I just want to ask you a question before you have to get out of here. How old do you think George Soros is? Because I'm thinking like 305 years old. That's your opinion.
I was just thinking, go ahead. Maybe 205, 210. Now, how many heart transplants can a demon body get before
666?
85.
He's 105 years old.
105. And ladies and gentlemen, that
looks like he's dying.
That should tell you everything that you need to know about George Soros, ladies and gentlemen. Look, we're up against this hard break, man. I got to play a couple tunes, chill us all out.
Gentlemen, I gotta give her some respect here. I gotta give her some props, man. It's been fun. It's been fun, man. Dennis.
Cheers, brother.
It's been a fun show, man, guys. Thanks for the privilege and the honor, man.
Hey, man, that's what we do, man. Thanks for joining us, man.
Together times, maybe before, like at least one time. So it's good to talk to you again, too, bro.
Yeah, Spec Kid. The armadillo thing got my head tripping now, but we'll have to for that later.
Yeah, man.
For sure, boys, man. We're up against hard break. It's the Friday Night Super Show. It's time to kick into that little bit of a groove. We're going to leave you with some Payday Monsanto, and we'll be right back for the third hour, motherfuckers, of the Friday Night Super Show, babies. Yeah.
Mr. Pay against the grain, G, always and forever. Slum One, High Society for life. 2012, baby. Census the 12th hour. Oh, I figure it's appropriate. We file Chapter 11. It's about time for that. Religious indeed. Clock's about to strike. No more fires for my flesh. No more masters found a threat. No more following another's footsteps. No more need to bow, cringe or crawl. Utter lying words. I was free. I stood erect and fearlessly, joyously. I faced all worlds in defiance of greedy tyrants. It was the end of compliance for me. And that was back in 9-3 when I realized I'd be better off worshiping a tree than that cruel deity that they depict in the Bible with that angel who supposedly became his arch rival. Today, religion's used for mental incarceration. Though the writers of the books had some wild imaginations, I'll make astronomical facts my emphasis. To dispute the account of creation is told in Genesis. I learned that some of the known stars were so far away in depths of space that they're like traveling at the ridiculous rate of almost 200,000 miles a second. Took 2 million years just to reach this little globe. Now check it. Many of them great stars, you have to understand, make this sphere we're living on here look like a tiny grain of sand. Now just based on them 2 facts alone, I asked myself if the author of Genesis would have known. Would he have wrote in verse Jehovah worked 6 days on earth and only a part of the afternoon on the 4th to make the rest of the universe? And here, please allow me to say, those answering me in malice have got their guns pointed the wrong way. You see, I'm not the one you should be shooting. You should blast Kepler, Copernicus, Herschel, Newton. They uncover the facts to dispel the lies, and after you dispose of them, you can wage a war toward the sky. And Jehovah himself for shooting his foot and having furnished evidence against the truthfulness of his book. There's other steps I took to reach the conclusions I do. These are just a few examples that I'm using for you. I studied geology for a semester or two and learn principal facts that a lot of cats prove to be true. Enough to know the Laurentian rocks are more than antique, unique, millions of years older than concrete beneath my feet. Enough to know that this earth has been wheeling in light and shade hundreds of millions of years before a Bible was ever made. Now again, for the zealots that want to point their guns and malice at me, why don't you launch a curse against the blasphemous sea? For the reverend snarling at me like an ox, why don't you just bang your head against the infidel rocks? Now intelligent men who are not easily frightened, whose brains have not been paralyzed by fear, who stay enlightened, men whose minds where the act of reason has not been banished, know the story of creation was written by a saddle. I don't subscribe to the older new edition, although there's lots of beauty and wisdom within them. I sympathize with sincere Christians, but they obviously don't know the origins of their religion.
Bitch, gotta look within yourself, not a scripture. Open up your third eye. See your hands to God, God is not down with religion. Who are you to wave your finger? You must have been out your head. I hold deep in muddy waters. You practically raised the dead. Rob the grave to snow the cradle and burn the evidence down. Soapbox house of cards and glass, so don't go tossing your stones around. You must have been high. You must have been high.
Oh, that's greasy.
That's really fucking greasy.
Yeah, it's greasy. Greasy.
Fuck's sakes!
Yeah, I've been hitting messages up to people right now to try to get them to tune in the last hour or so.
Oh, well, you guys got to remind me to fucking hit the mute button. You know, I can't I can't be responsible for all this shit all the time. Man, I'm getting my dick sucked and everything else all at the same time, and nobody's ever fucking saying nothing to me, man. I need to help me out, guys.
Yeah, you got too many distractions going on. I just want to say this, though, because
What up, boys? Come on in. I'm not getting my dick sucked right now.
All right, well, he hadn't smoked weed since 2003. I haven't had any weed with a seed in it since 2003.
Easy.
No, that shit rhymes. That should be a rapper. But I haven't picked the seed out of the weed I bought for the last 15, 16 years because I'm not buying that Mexican cartel bullshit that most people buy. If you can smell chemicals on it, you don't want to smoke it. I can't be responsible for all this shit all the time. I'm getting my dick sucked and everything else all the same time.
Oh, wow, they're just playing it back to me now.
Because you're fucking up. You're not doing your job, man.
What is shit? This is why I gave you the keys to the studio, too, there, motherfucker. Good Christ, you're supposed to be helping a motherfucker out.
If you gotta be a radio show host, remember that on Friday nights. It's 3 hours. You could have told us to, last hour that you had to go.
Yeah, well,
you chose.
No.
You chose that.
You just all get to hear my bullshit. I'm sorry. Apparently this week I get to be the bad guy. Fuck all y'all motherfuckers. Guess what? The new bad guy's in town. You thought Dennis Ford was an asshole to you? Maybe I should start being an asshole because I am a professional. They do not pay me. I've earned that shit. All right?
That's right. I agree.
Yeah, I already knew that. So you're not telling me anything I didn't know.
That's for fucking sure.
It's like, can we get some new information?
Dude, if there's one motherfucker that knows how much of an asshole I am, it is Mr. Friday Night himself, man. Guys, we are getting near the that whole fun time where we wrap things up and where I start doing bong hits because, yeah, that's happening. And but other than that, man, we still have these issues left on deck that all our sheeple compadres want to keep on just sucking upon the teat of. How do we wean them off this bullshit? Guys, if you can lay in just a little bit of insight to that, man, I know you know what I'm talking about. You can't just cut them off to cold turkey because these motherfuckers are going to snap and go, oh, my roads and no, how do we wean them away from the teat of statism into individual liberty and realizing what true freedom is? Dennis Ford, you got the floor.
No, Ken could go first.
Kill them all and start over. I mean, I got this as a whole lot of education and for us, a whole lot of fucking patience. Because it's very frustrating because it takes a long time to break a status.
Prop it on my foot.
It's like breaking a new horse, or the fucking Bronson things,
Are you gonna live?
It takes a lot of patience and a lot of time, but if they start seeing, if they have an open mind, they will eventually see.
You got it.
But it's again, guys, it's patience on our part. But I mean, that's just my outlook over the whole thing. So go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for your 2 cents, Kent. I agree with a lot of what you just said.
Yeah.
If I got the floor here before we end the show,
I'll make Kent snatch you up and throw you out the door. He will.
When you get in the radio, or you get into activism, or you feel like there's something you need to let people know about, you're going to have to first experience repetition. You're going to have to get used to repeating your fucking self so many times that you want to blow your fucking brain out. And you're going to have to get used to that. That's number one. That's 101. The second one, when it comes to all this shit, is you're going to lose friends, and you're going to make friends, and you're going to have to judge people just like you judge people on a daily basis. Is this a good person? Is this somebody I should fuck with? Is this somebody I should give my phone number to and talk to on a daily basis? Because at the end of the day, like at the top of the show, nobody gives a shit. Ladies and gentlemen,
not a fuck.
In society, nobody cares about you or any fucking thing. And if you ask anybody what they care about, you know, how much time do you have before you blow your fucking brains out? Because that's how lame and fucking useless people are in modern day society. And that's my 2 cents, or 10 cents on top of it. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming out to the show here tonight.
That's the way they look at it, though, Mr. Friday Night, man. That's the way they sit back and look at it. Well, you know, it's not affecting my life right at this point in time. So, you know what?
Wrong. They don't realize it, but it is. Realize it. It's affecting your grandchildren's lives, and you don't even know it. The Leaf here knows it. Kent knows it. Renegade knows it. Otherwise, why would you have children if you're not a responsible human adult? What are you doing? You shouldn't have had kids if you don't understand what you're doing. And then, like I said earlier, people, I'll kill somebody if they try to mess with my children or do something to my child. You do that every day by feeding them the garbage and bullshit and letting them watch television, giving them cell phones. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? As a human. But you think you're doing good.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I mean, you know, just
sorry, guys, we're trying to load bowls here. It's not
doing the
easy.
indoctrinated bullshit.
That's coordinate shit.
Yes. The older generation is really so indoctrinated, they're not going to wake up. You know, even the baby boomers, which is like, you know, 10, 20 years older than I am, they got to go. Your age is showing. Part of them is starting to wake up, and with the age of information. But, you know, it's going to be a long road. I mean, a lot of people got to really wake up and understand what's going on. They got to learn what the head of the snake is and what he replaces with. You know, I'm blue in the face of saying this.
How much more evidence do
you need that this
she ain't drinking,
is
so
bullshit?
yeah.
You need
I still got like 40 minutes left.
Hold on, this is going to be perfect.
Well, this is the way that what the fuck are you doing?
A lot of people just
quit trying to stick shit in my fucking head.
If you take them out of their comfort zone, that's another thing we have to deal with. You know,
Fuck you with your fucking M&M looking fucking stop fakes fucking bullshit shirt.
But go ahead, I mean, again, it takes
Stop fakes, but I look like Insane Clown Posse, butt-fucked Mastodon, and had M&M for a kid.
Get it, you know, or they don't, even if they do, they don't want to get it because they're still stuck in the left versus right paradigm. And, or pyridine, whatever, how the hell you pronounce it, but, you know what I'm saying. So, I mean, this is a huge battle for all of us, and basically what because I get impatient a lot, and I'm just keep telling myself, you got to be patient, you got to be patient.
Well, the hardest part, gang, about fighting this battle is continuing on, man. I mean, the worst part about it is each and every single day, no matter what, the mainstream media or the federal government themselves or even your state and local governments have something that's just going to shoot you in your dick. It's like you want to unfurl this 9-foot motherfucker. I'm the genie with the 9-foot weenie. Show it to the girl next door. She thought it was a snake, hit it with a rake, and now that motherfucker's only 5'4". And that's the story of being a truth person in this movement, man. Each and every day, somebody's going to cut your fucking dick off. Whether or not you still have the fucking mushroom head to continue on and start being a fucking man, then that's up to you. Everybody's going to try and cut your dick off, your legs off, whichever fucking anomaly that you, or analogy that you want to equate it to. It's called being fucking real, called being a grown-ass man. Yep. And
yeah, we're good, Lee. We can end the show right here, right now, because I think that's the final thoughts of everybody involved here tonight. You know, there's not much more I can add to that.
I think it's a good possibility that, man, we got the Gorilla Glue in the bong. You know, shit's about to go really south really fucking quick. Okay, so.
Yeah, like I said, I think the weed I got was a sour diesel. Yeah, I got sour diesel.
That's what I was talking about.
Dennis, you got training wheels. Dennis, baby, that's training wheels.
No, I know that. I smokes weed. You know what I'm saying? That's just like something I smoke when I'm on the radio shows. But I have some other shit. But my point is that, like I said, the majority of people that smoke weed, the young kids, they don't even understand what they're doing. Because when I started doing it, I didn't know what I was doing. And I was picking up seeds, and it was brick packed Mexican garbage. Like that shit came from Mexico, and you couldn't even, your dog wouldn't even sniff it. You know?
I first started smoking.
Can I put this channel
when I
in
was
the dark?
about 11, so you guys got to figure
For a
that's
second, if he'll,
1981. That's
if
probably
he'll do
before
it.
you
He
were
likes
born, Dennis.
hats. I don't. He never.
So
No,
I was
he ain't
born
gonna
in
do
82.
it.
It was weaker back then. This shit's
This
strong
is
today,
no.
man. It's like what's considered
Only
swag
my
today is was
necklace.
kind bud, 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, this is true. This is a fact.
I don't got the money for that high expensive shit,
Yeah, all I smoke is fucking expensive shit, man. That's because fuck it.
Drug wars bullshit. At least that's happening kind of in our
What the fuck am I gonna do? Spend it on liquor?
Well, no, always keep in mind that the CBD content, which is what is so beneficial to the human body, is always within half
and it may have benefits down the road.
or equal
It
to.
does. It's a plant. It's not a drug. It's a plant. It grows in the
Total
ground.
series.
So
Huh?
that's
For
why
the most part.
Not to the
For the
feds.
most part. As a
Not
general.
to the feds. It's a Schedule 1. And
No,
remember
that's
this.
a drunken fucking asshole that hosts the radio show.
They just voted on this
Trying to
to
get high,
reschedule marijuana or cannabis, whatever you want to label it or call it, and they failed to do it. You know why? Because they make more money locking stupid motherfuckers up for having it.
I actually know about this. The FDA
Word.
want to recognize it as medicinal purposes, and now that they do, they're still just dragging their feet. Just because, again, it goes back to the money, guys. It goes back to all the money. Prison industrial complex. It goes back to the money. There's people that are making money off this shit being illegal. So, again, it's all the system, man. The whole system's got to change.
Set my people free. Let them people out of prison. They didn't do shit but smoke some weed. Let them go. Let my people go.
That's the damn truth. Y'all lucky to be smoking right now because I can't. I'm fucking broken, fucking out. I haven't smoked.
You got a job interview on Monday, don't you?
You can't smoke weed.
There you go. I got a job, and please give me some slave dollars, massa, because I don't know if I can do it on my own. Oh, I promise I won't smoke the nasty leaf. I promise I won't.
Fuck that. Devil's lettuce. Don't be smoking the devil's lettuce.
It's been a month and a half. And I've been really slacking on in the summer, man. All I got is my whiskey right now. So some cigarettes and cigars, These cigars I'm smoking.
Send me that shit.
Smoking weed. Don't listen to the government. That's bullshit.
Get a job right now, and I ain't got the money for it. So, for the first time in fucking 35 years, I've just been without.
It's Friday. You ain't got no job.
And you ain't got shit to do. Yeah.
I'm get up there in years at 46, man. I've done it for so fucking long, and actually, I'm cool without it. But there's times I really, really miss it, and believe me, as soon as I land something steady, I'll be back, like the Terminator said. I'll be back, because
if I was there with you, I'd let you, I roll up a joint or something, bong or whatever. We smoke together, have a good time. Just like we did on tonight's show.
Stop.
Overall appearance of tonight's show, this was an amazing show. This is why we do the Friday Night SuperShow.
Look, this is 3/4 of a bottle of whiskey. All of a sudden, untangled the shit that you couldn't untangle. Good Christ.
They do both.
That's for sure. Yeah, brother, man, we do have to wrap this up, man. I got a whole bevy of guests up here in the studio, man, and we're going to...
Did I win the kids' tickets? Am I the 10th caller? Did I win the tickets?
Yes, you did win the tickets live this Saturday night at Como Hall, baby. Detroit Rock City. You got the KISS tickets, man, and you can wear your platform shoes and butt plugs all you want, and you'll be set to go.
Tell you, man, Black Diamond's a great song, guys. It's one of their first album. You gotta look it up.
Dude, Ken, I love you to death, bud, but KISS sucks, dude. They really suck. I mean, talk about 3-chord hacks. I mean, serious.
Their older shit's better.
Do you have my cigarettes?
Yes.
We got the Boy Wonder and the
Black Lighter.
The Bandit. That's gonna be your radio name, Bandit. But it's gotta be. Because if I called you Snowman, it'd be racist.
Fiday Night SuperShow, guys.
Shut up, you mayonnaise colored man.
You down to be Snowman?
My sheet and shit out.
with other shit, so
no, we're about to wrap this up, man. The Snowman and the Boy Wonder leaving the studio right now. Snowman coming at you.
No, that's fucking Steve Harvey, bud. What are you talking about?
Fuck Steve Harvey. That motherfucker's always goddamn wrong, man. Take your fucking little country ass on down the road now. Hey, stop and get flashed, because get flashed. Yeah, we're gonna have some burgers at the Choke and Puke. And old Fred looking mighty pickish.
Are you all gonna be on a week trip? Are you guys gonna be up in DC in 2 weeks?
No, I'm not going to that, man.
Hell no, I refuse to go to Washington, D.C. as much as I refuse to go to New York City. They are the cesspools of this country, and I refuse to be a part of it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm considering the March, but I mean, I like I said, I'm trying to make some money, and it's going to be. I got 2 weeks left to be able to make enough money just to get a bus ticket to get up there and back, and have a little spending cash.
I'd rather make enough money to do something important around this area, or fund a trip for myself and maybe somebody else out to Virginia, where I can terrorize Guantanamo Bay or whatever the fuck it is out there by Dennis Ford. Call in some friends from Philly, light some fires, kick some tires. I mean,
Lee Pierre could come here.
Oh, it's happening.
And we could go to the march. But the only reason I would go to the march is to meet Steve Grant, just to shake his hand, because Steve Grant is that essential music. You know what I'm saying?
I would go just to give him a big old wet lickery kiss right on his cheek, because I love you, Steve.
No, I mean, Steve Grant is probably one of the best people making music, and I don't, we promote a lot of music on the shows, but Steve Grant, PTP, all these people involved, Lions Clay, on down the line, all the music that we promoted over the last 5 years is essential and very important music for people to, you don't have to like it, but, check it out. You might like it because it's good music.
If I get up and make that meeting thing at the bar, man, I'll actually, if they have an acoustic guitar up there, I'll play one song for everybody, so. But,
I'm just not I'm not the biggest Anonymous guy. I don't, I understand the concept and everything. I'm my own thing, man. I don't identify with any group.
But I mean, I was there 2 years ago, and I wasn't there last year, and I wanted to get up there. I just, right now, I just told you I got money problems, and I probably have to get.
Dude, I could be in DC in like 45 minutes.
Money is see, now therein lies the real danger, Spent Kent, that I think you're missing out, is that if I go to visit Dennis Ford, that puts me and Mr. Friday Night, the Mouth, and Mr. Friday Night, the tag team champions of talk radio, within 45 minutes
place at the same motherfucking time
of the nation's capital.
America's most wanted.
Now, here's what I want to know is who would be down to, have arms and be at our side, because there's a good possibility they're going to come and lynch us like fucking the niggas of old, dude. I'm not even joking. They're going to tie us up behind a pickup truck, a Ford pickup truck, like a goddamn George Strait song. And that's not a joke.
We got them boys now.
And I'm gonna give them a bunch of liquid chicken.
That's see a bunch of boss hog looking motherfuckers.
I'd love to get up there, but I don't know if I can make it now. I might have to just go to the Orlando one, which would save me a lot of money. But I want to get up there and see Steve. And
man, you're not trying.
They're gonna have that little
do some push-ups. God damn it, Spent Kent. You're not trying. Do some push-ups, man. You can make it. I feel a man. I feel a man of your stature. If you hold your breath.
You got to be there. But
if you guys are going, man, I'll make it a point.
No, I'm saying that's neither here nor there. That's
no.
Wrestling, us trying to promote an event that we might not even go to. But
We're just trying to build up excitement about it.
And again, kids, there is a possibility that we will crash the party. And when we crash the party, look the fuck out, motherfuckers, because none of you kids know how to goddamn drink. And apparently, me and Dennis Ford need to come in and teach you.
You talking to the old school style here, right here, Span Camp, man. So,
Well, then do some goddamn push-ups, whatever you got to do. $10 or 2 Dairy Queen coupons, whatever the fuck it is, man. Get out there, smoky up behind the King of Donaire, and fucking get up there and be with us, man. If we're gonna be there, we're gonna let you know. But there's a chance that we might not. We might just find something cooler to do, kids, because we are the tag team champs, and that's what we do. We don't follow the trendsetters. We set the trends. That's the bottom line.
Right. I got something to say. I got something to say. While most people chase history, me and Leaf here on the Friday Night Super Show, we make history. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. We changed everything.
I'll explain to you.
From this show being what it is, even our history with Renegade Smith, Austin Thomas, Lisa, all these people, we changed the landscape. We made it better. And that's what everybody needs to do.
We did. Nobody does what we do, and still and yet, each and every Friday night, nobody still does what we do. There are great shows on Friday night, there are, but nobody brings it to you like we do. We have no holds barred here. There is no taboo. We will say anything. It really doesn't matter as long as the point comes across that, look, there are a few people that are fucking you in the ass each and every goddamn day. And they call themselves government.
Government.
So,
they call themselves the whole
herein lies your problem. Now, for those of us who have done the historical studies and all that other fun stuff, which is just a blast, let me tell you, start reading law books in your local library and notice how many chicks you pick up right there.
Yesterday. Remember, we just decided to do a show last night. Remember, you were talking to me and I was like, hey, let's do a radio show for the first time ever.
Yep, ever.
Friday night.
Just out of nowhere. You know, we just decided hunky-dory, we was actually out shooting meth and banging fucking dead hookers in trunks yesterday. But, today we decided, hey, let's fucking start spilling some truth out on the radio. And, come on. Fuck it. YOLO. That's it. I mean, this is not something new for us kids. This is rather much old hat, which is why we actually imbibe so much liquor while we do this, is because we have to tame ourselves down for you simpletons that can't grasp onto it when it smacks you in the cock first, I know some of you think it's is that an illegitimate child? Nope. No, wait, is that an altar boy? Nope. You're not Catholic. You don't have to worry about it. These things can and possibly do cross your mind when we start to bring this stuff up. I understand it's called cognitive dissonance. It's all been a part of our lives before. It probably will continue to be a part of our lives until we die. Am I wrong, boys? But
no.
Still and yet, maybe we're the fucking ones that are insane, that keep telling you, hey, shit is fucked up, shit is fucked up, shit is fucked up, and you guys just keep ignoring us. It doesn't matter. Nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care.
Leaf here, thank you for that, because in my mind, when I think of Leaf here, you're kind of mixed with George Carlin. You just remind me of his energy when he would tell people, nobody seems to notice.
Nobody seems to care.
And they got you by the balls.
By the balls.
Even in that stand-up. Even in that stand-up. Yeah, you're getting raped by the big red, white, and blue dick every day. And they don't want you to know. And you ain't in it.
That's the fact.
That should be lyrics to a song.
It has been. George Carlin should have been the one that fucking, should win some sort of prize for the poetry that he excluded. They call it stand-up comedy, but to me, a lot of it was poetry. They gave Bob Dylan one, and Bob Dylan actually wrote 2 books of poetry, just so everybody out there knows that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about just comedians, but I'm talking about, George Carlin and even Bill Hicks. Like, some of the shit he was talking about and how he would break down shit reminds me of Lee Peter, and why, all these years ago I was intrigued by what you were doing with the Last Voice for Liberty, and all these years later, this Last Voice for Liberty network is still here. It's still here.
Yeah, we ain't dead yet, motherfuckers.
Still doing what he does. That's amazing.
We ain't dead yet, motherfuckers. And the Last Voice for Liberty show, a little bit more sober and
you just remind me of like the old comedians. You know what I'm saying? Like those particular people, even beyond that. You know what I'm saying? But
nonetheless,
all that shit, I can hear that shit. And
all the madness is here, but.
No, I'm saying you're actually very unique to the point where you're priceless, just like me. I can't speak for everybody, but I'm just letting people know.
A lot of people keep telling me that, and so many people I'm surrounding myself with are in agreement.
Well, trust me, if you die, people would miss you.
What?
And I'd be one of them. So,
Well, the feeling is mutual. That's for damn sure, and that goes for all of you out there, man. Because
I believe in my own mind that you're one of the best people in radio that's ever done it in history. I think that's how good you are at what you do.
Dude, I'm a high school dropout that fucking started paying attention, man. Anybody can do what I do. A fucking trained monkey in a bucket of sand could fucking do what I do.
I'm saying, if you were paid, if that was your job, if you weren't going out doing your 9 to 5 and you were doing radio for a living, you could be one of the greatest that have ever done it. Period.
Yeah, but what are they gonna ask me to sacrifice? And
you could have Alex Jones on your show. Is what I'm saying.
I wouldn't have that fat fucking tubby fucking pepperoni titted bitch on my fucking shit. Fuck that motherfucker.
In a parallel universe, on another planet.
I know what you're saying.
We're doing this for a living.
I know what you're saying.
In this reality, we're not doing that.
Well, yeah, I actually did say it to somebody earlier today. that I treat this like a job, and
it is a job, and you don't get paid to do
you
it.
Have
so
to.
That's even better.
Yeah, I mean, we all got our job. We all do our thing, man.
That's the only way to keep doing this, man, is you got to treat it like a job. And, yeah, I pay for everything. I don't get any benefits off of this. As a matter of fact, I want to thank one of the biggest sponsors of the show, Renaissance Painting. Get in touch with me if you need some painting done because, goddammit, they are good people and good company, and we restore and fix old houses, man, and make them look pretty. But nonetheless, my shameless capitalistic plug aside, you've got to understand, kids, we pay for this. It's from our hard work, our due diligence, our research, everything else that comes from us. This is not, we don't have no GoFundMe page. There's no PayPal fucking button you can hit on our shit. All right? We do this ourselves because it means something, all right? There are people's lives at stake, no matter how you slice it and dice it, and it ain't fucking ours that we're worried about, okay? Our lives have already been subject to, we've already been a part of the system for so many goddamn years that there's nothing that we can do now but stand up and vocally say something about it and get all of you fired up and thinking about it as well back at home. Stop thinking about this 2-party or 3-party or 4-party fucking system as something that should be the end-all be-all for our existence, goddammit. God did not mean for us to be governed by anyone else but ourselves. And until we start to actually embrace that fact, we're going to be at war with one another until the end of fucking time. And, Dennis, that's really what we've been fighting against.
I got a key point to add to what you're saying. Now, if you look at history, again, I study history. I'm not a historian, but I study history. And if you look throughout history, these people that have just said what you said, Lee Pierre, have been killed and removed from history. And a lot of people...
Yeah, go ahead. Come and get me, bitches. I dare you. Got something real to break off in your ass, motherfucker.
Draw influence from, again, are Bill Hicks, George Carlin, both dead. Both dead.
And you know what?
Bill Hicks is out.
I haven't even got a goddamn half bottle of liquor in me yet, boys. This is wrong. It's almost.
Tupac and Biggie in the 90s. That was devastating for me growing up. I mean, those were two of the best people doing what they were doing, and they were removed because whatever was going on, mob hits, right? Now, go further than that. John Lennon, JFK, his brother, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X.
The King.
I mean, these people are removed. You know, regardless
Man,
of
I'm
what
more
their
Malcolm
message was,
than X, dude.
they just tell you that there's a different way to live life, and people don't want to hear that. And if you get a big enough audience, they will kill you or remove you or frame you or, you know, destruction will come your way. And that's what I'm thinking we're doing. We're knocking on the door so much. Eventually, they got to answer. You know, they got to answer the door. They got to see who's on the other side because nobody else is doing what we do. From music to what I do on Facebook, what Leaf here does, all this production, the producing, everything. We do something that nobody else does. And nobody else can do it. And I hope, you know, they try, but they can't. But my point is if you look at history, like I said, the people that come along and tell you to love each other and work together, there's a different way. You know, even Michael Jackson put down the guns and shit, or he had the song, whatever he was doing, Prince was another one. Prince was very well aware of what was going on in modern day society. You know what I'm saying? He knew about a lot of shit. So we don't know.
This is what it happens. This is what it sounds like when doves cry, kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you get an audience, right? If you get a big, not even social media, but if you get a lot of people entertained in what you're doing, best believe they're going to control that. And this is what you're getting with Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, this election, your television in general. Turn off your fucking TV. How about that for a week? See if you go through a withdrawal from not having television.
Yeah, I mean, Dennis, you make a good point about the whole TV thing. I mean, that's what sways all their thoughts. I mean, that's why they're so indoctrinated, and a lot of them don't want to hear what we're saying. It's because they're too busy listening to Sean Hannity or any of them, you know.
Sean
whatever their group or their gang is,
because he's a
Republican,
cunt.
Democrat, they're still stuck in that left versus right parenting. And that's the hardest part, too, is them out of that. So they can, like I said earlier, television is a major issue. You know, it's a major problem that people need to deal with. You know what I'm saying? I understand people watch television. I understand people want to be entertained. But at this point, how much more entertainment do you need to understand that you're getting fucked on a daily basis? Raw dog. I mean, look, I know everybody likes to, like, dump on football. You know, I love football. I watch football. I don't give a fuck about anything, Ken. I don't give a fuck about wrestling. I don't give a fuck about UFC. I don't give a fuck about football. I don't give a fuck about anything on the television because, you know what? I don't give a fuck about TV. TV is my enemy. That's the problem. That's the biggest fucking problem. And then it goes to the cell phones. Movies and stuff, you know, like, I like certain movies. You like certain movies. I actually do like football, but I'm not consumed by it. I see through it. And I'm already awake anyway, so I can actually watch football and not be affected, where others are just sucked in. I mean, I know people right now that are sucked in and, you know, they wrap themselves in the flag and they get mad about not standing up for the pledge and, or whatever, the national anthem and all that. I'm like, you guys are just being played, man. It doesn't matter.
Well, the best football game, the best that my television, they're not. The best that my television has. Just check this out for a minute. When I turn on I have TVs I don't even use, but when I turn them on, the best that they have for me is a debate between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. No fucking thank you. I will spend my time wasted on something better than watching these two fucking morons talk to each other and throw shit at each other. I don't want to watch that shit.
I know people that did, and including my family, my old man and his girlfriend, and I'm like, I'm going to tell you something. From day one, it's going to be nothing but an insult fest. They're not going to talk about any issues. The issues they talk about is big statist issues anyway. More war, more guns, more bombs.
Yeah, you didn't hear what I said, though. When you turn on that TV, that's all they're telling you is Hillary Trump or Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton, it doesn't matter what their names are. You can interchange their fucking names. It wouldn't fucking matter. But even when you get on social media or Twitter or Twat or whatever the fuck it is, that's all people want to talk about. Get a fucking life, man.
Say word.
Wake up.
100%, because I mean, like a lot of, I see it all the time. I mean, I'm like, I have other people on Facebook that aren't part of the movement that know what we know. And I'm like, oh God, it's either left or right. I have the same argument for both. And I do this. This is what I do. I do engage with them. I try to wake people up. And then even people in the movement that don't get the whole, voluntarism shit.
Yeah, people don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so consumed, and the TV is it, and then when they want to get distracted, they're going to go listen to Jay-Z, or they're going to go watch a football game, or watch even a Marvel Comics movie, and just be distracted. I can still watch a Marvel Comics movie. I can still watch a football game. I love my Redskins. I can do all that, but I'm awake. I can see through it. Once it's done, I have my 2 hours of entertainment, drink my beer or whatever. I go right back to, well, guess what? The world's still fucked. People need to wake up. But the problem is I can do that because I'm me. I'm already there, but I need to get these other people there. It's such a hard job, and that's what we're up against. So, yeah, I know. I
feel a lot of pain for you because you publicly said that you're a Washington Redskins fan, and I know that's very depressing, and
man,
I know that's hard.
I love the Seahawks, the second favorite team, Seahawks. They're going to be the chance this year, but this time around again in the Super Bowl. I do like football. I've watched it for years. When I was unawake, I watched it.
Make sure you watch it in October because they're wearing pink for awareness for breast cancer that they take money from, and they don't really do shit, but they take your money and they wear pink on the field.
They don't talk how hemp could, cannabis and shit. I see all through that shit. Now I didn't, 10 years ago I didn't see through it, but now I do. And I'm not consumed by it anymore like I used to. I still enjoy it, but I'm not consumed because in the long run, I'm already awake. I can still go back and say, okay, I need to, I'm not going to be consumed by the movie.
Let me ask you a question. All right, you're watching football tomorrow, this weekend. It's going to be Sunday, right? As soon as you see the players wearing pink, you should be like, this is bullshit. And let me tell you, the whole fucking game is bullshit.
I was like,
listen, check this out. They had to make fantasy football so people would even watch fucking football anymore. That's how fucking pathetic it is in the modern age. But you didn't hear that from me, But that's how they make money off of it because they know people are going to watch it, and they're wearing pink for breast cancer awareness. Let's create awareness for breast cancer. Let's tell people about it, but not do shit about it and take your money. Sounds like politics.
True military complex in the military puts into wrapping everybody.
And when's the last time the NFL paid taxes? Never. NFL never paid taxes
or paid for a stadium. So yeah, they wrap themselves in the flag. They get mad when somebody doesn't stand up for a national anthem. They have all
them.
See through all that shit. You know what? I'm ready for. I'm basically ready for Kirk Cousins to make a completion for a first down. That's what I do. I mean, I like the game. I like to watch the game. Kirk Cousins is the quarterback of the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, I'm not knocking anything. I'm not trying to turn people off from me being, blunt about the situation. You know what I'm saying? I do it as well. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, the debates. I know I can turn on television and watch the debate because it's on like 8 or 9 different channels, and I can be like, oh, let me zone out for a minute, take a blue pill, and or watch, whatever's on television. But television is the major distraction, and like I said, it goes to the cell phones, the technology. Go out right now. Go out, drive around, look at people. That's what they're doing. They're looking at cell phones. That's the best they got to do. And they don't know shit about nothing. They can't even tell you what day it is.
I'm out here out back by myself looking at the full moon most of the time, or the moon, or running around armadillos.
I bet you those armadillos got cell phones.
The armadillos, yeah, they might. I wouldn't be surprised, but I mean, when I feel like escaped for a little bit, I do like to watch football. I know people don't understand this. They don't enjoy football. I grew up watching. I played it, not really professionally or nothing, but I liked the game. But that being said, I'm not sucked into it and consumed by it, and I see through the bullshit that they put out now, and it just goes in one ear and out the other to me. That's fine, but the other people, it doesn't. Other people are going to wrap themselves in the flag. They're going to, they don't understand how much the military spends. That's fly those jets over the frickin' stadium and do all the shit that they do, sing the national anthem, wrap themselves in the flag, support the troops, support the war. They don't see that shit. I do. See through it now. I remember like 10 years ago, I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good thing, right? Because I didn't know any better. I was over there in the right-wing Republican. I was a rock and roll Republican. I didn't know any better. But now I do. And now it goes in one ear out the other. But you know what? At the same time, I still enjoy the game. To me, that's like watching, Deadpool movie to you. It's still like watching, a movie or
no, I mean, I play video games and shit. I play Madden. To this day, I play Madden. And, people understand the game, as you called it. That's what it is. It is a game. And if you don't understand the game, then you shouldn't be watching it. You shouldn't be interested in it.
4 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat second down. I love that shit, dude. I really love it. I enjoy football. But, at the same time, I played football. Growing up, I played football. You know what I'm saying? Before the person that you're talking to right now, I was a big fan. I was a Detroit fan, Detroit Lions, when they had Barry Sanders, the best running back that has ever been in the NFL. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Barry Sanders was the best. All right? I don't know Bo Jackson. I don't know what Bo knows, but I know Barry Sanders was better than Bo Jackson and Emmitt Smith and everybody that was in. Again, the NFL was better when I was growing up. The NBA was better. Everything was better. Everything was better. Name you starting lineup of the 1994 Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan. I can give you the whole lineup. Bill Cartwright, Horace Grant, friggin' Jordan, and Scottie Pippen. I can still give you all. I mean, I was watching all that shit back then. I was in my mid-20s and shit. I loved it. But I don't really watch hoops as much as I used to. But, I keep up now and again because I'm entertained by it, but I'm not consumed by it. I remember Larry Bird, for real. I remember Larry Bird playing basketball for the Celtics and shit when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? And Jordan versus Bird, Jordan versus Magic Johnson. He got AIDS, HIV and shit. Remember that? Yeah, I remember when Johnson got the HIV. I remember watching hoops, and I was like, oh, man, I was really sad and shit. But, I was 22 years old at the time when that happened. Oh, Speaking of which, what happened to Charlie Sheen? I mean, he got HIV, and then that was it. We haven't heard shit from him. Did he die? What happened? He did. Nobody's heard anything. No, I don't even know. I haven't heard that, so. No, he did. Who else? Lee Pierre knows what I'm talking about.
Well, this is true.
No, I'm saying Lee knows what I'm talking about because Charlie Sheen came out and said that he was HIV positive, and that was last year at this time. And he might have been. That was it. That's Charlie Sheen.
You're never going to hear from him again.
That guy is. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? This could be a publicity stunt, whatever. You never know about these fuckers, I like his little brother better in movies, whatever his name was, Emilio. Emilio. I remember watching this old man.
That hack.
Love old westerns.
Martin, no, he was in the Breakfast Club. Remember that?
Oh yeah, Breakfast. Yeah.
This is true. This is true. Boys, we got to wrap the show.
The show here.
Yeah, we've got about 2 minutes left, man. You guys got some last words here for us.
No, we already did that 30 minutes ago. I already had my phone call. I was just talking shit.
You guys, real quick, I'll message you all about DC and shit and let you know what's going on in the next few days personally. I'm always here with you guys, for you guys, and all that stuff. Everybody else, just that's listening, educate yourselves. Educate. Keep educating. Always learn, and always seek the truth. That's all I got to say.
That's for sure, boys.
My bros, go ahead.
All right, kids, we're going to wrap this one up here, man. I'm the mouth for everybody out there that's listening to us, man. Tune in Monday, November 7th. We're bringing back the last Voice for Liberty show. Next week, we'll be back once again, the Friday Night Super Show. And stay tuned because there might be some special episodes coming up in between, including some Arsenal of Sounds.
We need Arsenal of Sound this weekend, please.
That
what is that? And tell me about it real quick.
The Arsenal of Sound? You don't know the Arsenal of Sound? What fucking planet are you living on, man? Dude, we've got to get the fuck out of here. I am the mouth for Dennis Ford and Spent Kent. We love you, but we out.